they are.
I ate them dinners.
Oh my goodness. So rude. So rude. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. We're professionals. Everything's always very smooth. Flandy, if you don't mind getting us started. And then
hello and welcome back to Difficult Terrain. This is ASMR intro.
For some reason, Ryland dies tonight. For reasons I won't explain, I fucking hate ASMR and he knows it, so that's why he's doing it. Anyway, last time on Difficult Terrain, we have been having a relatively chill time with the Preventers. You guys went back to the Missouri tribe, which is Ryland's family, back in the forest, nowhere near the desert that you guys have been in for a very long time. But it was mostly to kind of drop off the owl bears and a little bit to check in, but mostly to drop off the owl bears. But while there, you guys had some food, a song was sung. Some people have invisible spectral hats on at the moment, green hair and green clothing. But otherwise, everyone seems kind of all right. Food was had, but
for no reason at all. No reason for the spectral hats. Nothing occurred while Valen was gone. Nope, not one thing.
Correct. No reason why. So a lot of information was shared, and in the middle of this, you guys also kind of realized that because you are all the official adopters of Kambish, he's technically a part of the tribe, which means he's technically allowed to stay and technically allowed to be on grounds, which is usually an unusual thing for the tribe. They technically don't really allow outsiders, but he's now family and he's allowed inside. So with that, you guys kind of, over the long term of things, decided to leave not only the owl bears, but Kambish here for a little bit of time and see if he can at least be safe and also learn some things about his new family. But with all the information that was shared, some of it was that the tribe actually was the recipient of a invitation from Mirtiswa, which you guys have recognized as tied with the Melodious Master, with V.V, lots of things that we don't like. And in figuring that out, Ryland and Valen went into the village to try and figure out a little bit more about it. You guys were able to find out that it had conjuration magic, and it seemed to be a strangely modified sort of Misty Step type spell to actually get the letter where it needed to be. It's still waiting for an answer, and you guys decided to do a little bit more research before getting back to them the next day and possibly answering the invitation. But in the meantime, the rest of the crew, which was like Kodrono, Nirja, Irene, and Kemen, Kemen and Nirja had a bit of a spar. The rest of you were just eating, chilling, having a pretty good time with mom and dad, which was Chege and Kahya, as well as the owl bears. But one other thing that Ryland and Valen were able to do is they connected with what seemed to have been a magic network that was kind of instilled in all of the nature in this area. So for the very first time, Valen had a very like druidic experience, and Ryland connected for a bit as well. But there was a little bit of retconning that needs to happen just because Ryland, or the player, his name is Flandy, remembered he wanted to do something and didn't get the chance to do it. So even though on the last episode we ended with them returning to the group, we're just going to have a very small moment before they leave fully. But before we do that, just a reminder, inspirations are with the players of Kodrono and Nirja. The two of you have expired tonight. And our dear Vogli just had a birthday, so she has an inspiration that does not expire. I hope you enjoy it, girl. Don't forget that you have it.
I won't, because usually I use it the same day for the last, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. But you get to hold on to it. You get to do whatever you want with it. You have 2 inspirations right now, girl.
I know. I'm fucking excited for it. Yeah.
How do I hold all this inspiration? So with that being said, we're going to pick up with Valen and Ryland, who are currently on their way out. You guys have just left Kitahi and Wangu, the arcane elder and the chieftain. But Hasina and a few of the other guards are kind of not escorting you. She is, but the others are just kind of in the near vicinity of you guys as you're walking out. But Ryland seems as though he has a request.
I was just, he would probably try and wait for Valen to get distracted with a conversation, as he probably often does, especially when it comes to new places and new things, and
like trying to understand shit. So I
Mhm.
imagine there's a little bit of that going on with the tree and shit that was going on in the background, and he's waiting for his chance, and he's gonna kind of like lean over to Hasina and be like, "Hey, do we have any tattoo supplies?
Yeah, always.
Can we bring some with us back to the camp?"
Yeah.
I imagine like
right now.
yeah, like right now. I imagine would his mom and dad and whatnot be able to perform?
You know, your mom actually does. Like,
Okay.
she did some of yours, but she does them in general.
He's like, yeah. And then he'll kind of try and, but he doesn't know what colors Valen wants, but Ryland would, and he would pick out appropriate colors.
Gotcha. But Valen, you notice a slight conversation. Hasina seems to speak with one of the other guards that are nearby, who kind of rushes off for a bit. And before you guys get to the edge of the village, that same person comes back with sort of a handful of like leather wrapped, what looks like tools. You're not entirely sure what's in it, just because it's wrapped pretty well. But it's handed to Hasina, who then hands it to Ryland. And she just kind of pats it and smiles for a second. That's what you wanted.
Thank you. And he's got to kind of hide it, and if he clocks that man look at him, he's gonna like not obviously not like truly. He's just a little bit of playfulness, and just like, oh, what's going on here?
I imagine it's a quick clock from Valen because he's still very much like finger wagging at Irene at the moment.
Yeah.
But
What?
Yeah.
What? She didn't do that. What?
But with that sort of like quick interaction, I'll say that you guys are all together now. Ryland just has this little like leather wrapped situation, and you guys are kind of getting ready to say goodbye. But that's the intention. The owl bears, Kambish, your mom and dad, Hasina, are preparing to head back, and you guys are preparing to leave. But you guys have this moment all together as a group. What would you like to do?
I think Valen's just getting ready to go back at this moment. I don't think we spoke a lot about pretty much everything, but he would say his goodbyes, to Ryland's parents first, and then everyone else after that.
Yeah, you're just gonna give Kambish a big hug and lift him off of the ground and say we will miss you very much, and I hope you enjoy time with your grandparents.
The Tabaxi child just kind of smiles and hugs you back as tight as he can, which his little arms don't go all the way around your armor, but it's pretty close. But he hugs back and
yeah, I'll miss you, but promise to come back tomorrow is what Valen said. So I'll see you. I'll see you later.
Absolutely.
We have one more thing to take care of before we leave. I imagine like while that first bit was going on, he kind of like whispered to Mama Dukes the plan. It's like Valen.
Yeah.
there's just a moment where you see Ryland like smiling and his mom beside him smiling the same exact smile that he smiles.
Oh no.
Did I do something wrong? No, you're smiling, so I didn't do anything wrong. Well,
As the newest member of the family, we would like to bestow upon you some tattoos of our tribe.
Oh.
If you're willing, of course. You don't have to, but I've done a few on my sons, and I've been a participant in it as well. But if you're interested, we can give you something subtle, something that represents what you've been through, who you are, and what you mean to others.
I've already picked out redemption, family, and brains, but the knowledge brains, not the zombie brains.
I suggested, because this was probably your first tattoo, that we should start small and maybe pick one of those.
Books are a better representation of knowledge.
Valen's like, I was gonna go with trauma and hardship, but okay, we'll
oh my god.
Yeah.
Subtle burn.
How long? Okay, yeah. Is that okay with everyone's time frame? And he's looking at Ryland because he knows he's exhausted, and like, it's honestly at this point impressed that you're as lucid as you are, given like the last few days that you've had.
This is one of those things like where you've gone through so much shit, but this is like one of those like this is so exciting and like such a awesome thing to happen that he's just like,
seeing that reaction, sure, I'd be honored. Just what I've never had one before, so.
Wonderful. I will also mention at the moment it will just be for appearance and symbology, but if you come back another time and you have some more time, we have some experts who can actually imbue it with a little bit of magic, and it might actually help you in some way.
I feel like Ryland's like, what?
You had trouble sitting still through them, so we never really explored that option. It takes a while.
You know, I have something that could help with that.
But as that's happening, you see her kind of like motion towards the meeting rock. Like she clears off an area where there's no food or plates or anything, and just have a seat. And we'll get started. It won't take too long. This is a little more magic than it is practical, so it won't disappear, but it won't hurt as much, which is good too.
That's good to know. Okay. What's he's looking at? Like, where's it gonna go?
Most of the time we have it on your face, but if you don't want that, we can have it somewhere else.
He thinks about future upcoming events where that might be an issue. Is an arm okay?
Absolutely, sure. Just pull up your sleeve, and like you see her kind of try for a second, but like she's relatively large. It's just like, I don't want to ruin that. You just go ahead and pull that up for me.
These robes have been tattered and burned, and in some places disintegrated. So don't worry. It just like lifts it up.
Okay, yeah, but once you get it in place, you see her kind of unroll the leather toolkit essentially, and you do see something that kind of looks like pens, or even kind of like a quill in a way. But there is a couple of like ink vials that you can see they seem to be sort of iridescent in the sunlight. They're kind of changing color a little bit. And as she kind of pulls one out, you see her sort of like rub it between her hands and start kind of casting what seems to be a cantrip of some sort. And you watch as the color changes from the sort of like pearly iridescent to a sort of like darker blue-green. And the more the color kind of like flushes in that vial, you see her starting to like dip to the end of the pen quill in it. This is not only a little more subtle for you in your skin tone, it'll blend in a little bit more, but it's I think we're going to start with redemption for you. So hold still. It'll take me probably like 30 minutes, maybe 45, and well, I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will. She's just like, don't look at it.
And she kind of like scoops one hand under, like the middle of your arm and holds it. But as she does, like Valen is not a very strong individual, and this is a big old furball hand, so it's like it doesn't even take up her whole palm. She's just like delicately holding you, and she starts. And to your relief, it doesn't seem to hurt at all. It really feels like someone's kind of like painting on you, interestingly enough. Just because it's a quill, you expected it to kind of be like maybe like a light feeling of ink or something, but the color kind of does feel heavy on your skin, and it feels like it's really like sinking in, almost like layer by layer by layer. And it's not uncomfortable, it's just you're aware of it as it's happening. And interestingly enough, even though it's sinking in, it almost feels weightless. It just feels like it's just going through the filters in a way. But she's busy with that for a little bit. And a good probably like 35 or so minutes, the rest of you are starting to see the picture come to life, really. It is simplistic, as all of the Missouri tattoos are very geometric and kind of representational of whatever that might be. But you guys start to see what looks like kind of like spots almost. Kind of, they resemble similar to the like Gith Yankee spots that are on his like cheeks and around his eyes. But it starts sort of towards the bottom of his arm, and as it starts kind of like crawling up, it starts solidifying and almost branching out into geometric tree branches in a way. But it does seem to be becoming like a solid piece up towards the top, and then right above that seems to be what looks like something circular, almost like a globe of some kind, and it's like half filled right now, but it doesn't look like she's fully filling that spot in. But a few more minutes pass, and she just kind of defines the edges. It looks a lot cleaner in a lot of other ways, but it also goes from a gradient of a darker blue-green, which is what she started at, but towards the top, and that orb seems to be kind of a gold. And for those of you who have seen Arcane, it's kind of like that gold tattooing that Mel Medarda has, where it does look like metallic. It actually kind of glistens, and it looks like the skin there is metal, but it's simply colors of paint. So with that half-filled globe above what looks to be that sort of tree-like figure, she pulls back and just sort of looks at it for a second. Okay, looks good. Take a look. What do you think?
That looks amazing. Thank you. And I deeply appreciate this. I know it's not something that's done lightly.
No, but you were part of the family. And she looks towards the rest. Technically, the rest of you are too. So maybe sometime we can get the rest of you painted up. But so you know, and she kind of like points towards each section, and she starts at the bottom where it's kind of like that rubble. And we all start off as pieces, right? We have to figure out who we are and what we're doing, and this is where we make mistakes. And as we travel through those mistakes, and she kind of drags her pen quill up, and you can see where it starts formulating into that kind of tree section, and we start becoming better and growing and growing. And she goes through like the tree branches, and you can see how some of them are still like yet to be defined. And as that happens, we make connections and we become stronger. And eventually, and she kind of points towards that circle that's like half filled, we find our purpose and our love. And I think you're still in that process. So maybe when you think you're done, we can fill in the rest of this circle.
I'm not sure I'll ever be done. I always want to learn more. But yeah, it's a noble goal to aspire to, regardless.
Reminds you you're on the path and where you've come from.
I appreciate
Has
that.
anyone been filled from head to toe in tattoos?
No, we very carefully choose our representations. People can be many things, of course, but it's also what it means to the tribe, and what he means to this tribe. And he kind of looks. She looks between Ryland and Valen. Redemption is very important, it seems. So we start with that. Most people don't have more than 5 or 6 or so.
Wow.
And she kind of like points towards one of the lines under her cheeks that kind of curls back towards your ear. This one is because I am very playful. So if you get to know everyone, you kind of get to read who you're talking to a little bit.
A book on the skin. Interesting.
Yeah, that's very informative. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. I hope you like it. And
I do.
you, interestingly enough, you're fine. You can rub it and put your sleeve back down, whatever you'd like. But like I said, if you have more time another time, we can improve it a little bit.
I'd love to get more time. Absolutely. As soon as things like you see, like in his mind, it's like all the dire threats that are threatening me and all my family. Nope. Shut that away.
Let's get away. Not right now.
As soon as it's safer, I will definitely.
That is, why are you just raising your hand?
I don't think he's doing it on purpose because I saw him waving his hands.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay, but
That's all the trauma comes.
No. Dubs was like, "Is there a hotkey for that? That's great."
Let me check something real quick. Nope. I must have been hitting the anyway. Because I have my notepad by my keyboard, so maybe it was hitting it. What the hell was he saying?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. As soon as everything calms down, absolutely would love to spend more time here.
Oh no. Great. Well, happy to help. And she starts kind of like rolling up her tools. And towards the end of it, you saw her working out of the same vial every time. She was simply kind of like rubbing it between her hands and casting something again to change the color every time. But at the end, it returns to that sort of iridescent white pearlescent color. And she just caps it and puts everything away and wraps it up. And as she holds it, she sort of looks over the whole group. All right, well, you have big things. And we'll see you again soon, right?
Tomorrow.
Absolutely. She's gonna give Kambish one last hug and be like, "Remember, I need you out there finding them paths."
Okay,
And you kind of like nods.
I can do that.
He hugs you back very tightly.
We'll see you guys soon.
Kambish.
I love you guys. Thank
Remember
you.
that cloak.
We love
You behave. You got
Yeah.
a cool cloak.
Okay.
We love you too, Kambish. Enjoy
see-
your time.
You see a smile like brighten, and Kahia actually leans over a little bit to kind of like pat him on the head.
He'll be in
Oh
good.
wait, Kambish.
Yeah.
Come here.
Okay.
Leans in.
Find out all the embarrassing things about Ryland you can while you're here.
Okay.
All right, great. That's another secret mission.
Okay.
And he kind of like steps back besides the mama, who then leans down and is, with his permission. She looks
Ryland's just gonna be like, secrets are frowned upon in this village. Just remember that.
That's not a secret. Is it? Is it a secret? What'd you do?
He was referring to the mission. I feel like with that, he's just gonna be like,
and your mom suddenly breaks eye contact.
I mean, how did you
But
get yourself so easily?
she smiles. It was just anyway. We don't want to bother you too much, but he'll be fine. And thankfully, and she kind of like wiggles her little notebook. We can talk at all times. I'll let you know how he's doing.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'll have him write to you too. Actually,
I'm sure he'll find a way.
I'm sure he will. But it'll be good either way. So
Ryland's gonna give him like a hand hug over his face and just kind of do the scritches.
I really think he'll hate the like face thing, like that. I'll kind of like move your hand if you can, and then try and like hug you guys. But each of you get a hug in this order from Kambish, from Kahia, from Chege, and then from Sina after that. But it's just kind of like a conga line of hugs. But at the end, they're all kind of standing, and Chege is still kind of corralling the owl bears, who seem to be happily listening at this point. The time he spent sort of getting used to them and them getting used to him seemed to have paid off. So he smiles over each of you, and they'll be in good hands. With any luck, hopefully 2 of them will be returned to the forest where they can thrive.
That would be fantastic. Thank you. They've lived hard lives. At least that one has.
Where they belong.
Unfortunately.
Irene gonna ruffle the baby's feathers a long time. Try not to die from heartbreak.
Oh, you hear a little bit of purring and cooing as it kind of like rubs against you. And being a cub, it's like a tater tot with legs and fur. Like it's there's no like defined features about it. It's just like a round ball. But he rubs up against you and is happily says goodbye.
I'll see you later. I'm gonna come back and visit you, okay?
And Chege laughs. He'll be with us a little longer than the others, I think. That is if they want to leave. If they want to stay with us, that's fine too.
I feel like one of them definitely will. She's looking at the more passive one.
Who at this moment is just kind of reminding you of like a bit of a ditz. Like he's kind of watching you guys and then just stares at the sky every now and then. Seems to like trail off and then like looks back at you guys. Chege looks back at his
clouds.
you might be right about that one. And lastly, Justina smiles at everyone. Stay out of trouble. I'm sure we'll see you soon, as mentioned. But
I'm sure we won't. Stay out of trouble.
yeah, that was more my wish than,
We try.
Doesn't mean you will. But good luck. We should be heading back.
Indeed. Irene, did you want to do the summoning? I know you practiced.
Yeah.
Or somehow acquired the knowledge through not reading and studying. I still don't understand that, but
Well, it was passed on to me by a mutual acquaintance.
it was like, wait, who? In the meantime, while she does that, I'm gonna pull out the sending stone and give Kurugu a heads up.
Got it.
We incoming party sans owlbears, except one.
Except one.
Party sans owlbears, except one. 6 words. You have more if you need it.
That's all she needs.
Okay. In response, you hear, "Yeah, okay, I will be there."
Does she sound stressed or just tired?
Neither. It sounds more like you caught her while she was focusing.
Okay,
So
got
she was
it.
trying to like,
Yeah.
focus on you rather than whatever she was doing.
Gotcha.
But yes, that is the response you get.
Valen is almost positive that his sorcerer's friend, of course, did not get the component needed for the spell and will hand her his chalk.
Okay.
It's gonna be like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Maya.
Oh my god.
Preparedness is all.
What? I mean, I just, this is a different approach for me, okay?
I was reading it out because I was like, I don't think she is. I was like, here you go, buddy. There it is. All right. Not a problem at all. But the family kind of says goodbye, nods their heads, and heads off into the forest. Kambish kind of holding Kahia's hand, looking over his shoulder to watch you guys as they disappear into the forest. It's the first time you guys have actually like really separated from Kambish. But with that, and Treebender back with the team, and no extras, minus perhaps the not common speaking Githyanki brother, Kimane. You guys get ready with your teleportation circle. And is there anything anyone wants to do before they leave, before you hop in the teleportation circle? Just
Yeah. Since Irene was getting this knowledge from Kandara, if when she was preparing to cast the spell, was Kandara just like, hey, if you get anything?
like honestly, Kandara was quiet until like Valen gave you the chalk, and then you heard, yes, that's. Did I not tell you that?
No, I probably forgot. There's a clear moment when Irene's like getting ready to go in a gesture, and she's like, wait. And then she starts looking around.
Oh, God. There's just a moment where she has an internal conversation and is embarrassed, and then starts drawing. Oh my god. But you know what? Like, I know you can do it, but give me a performance check. I want to see like how good your very first teleportation circle is.
Valen's also kind of like he's looking, but he's trying to like nonchalant, like
Judge.
not look like, hey, what are you doing? Like, it's
Yeah.
partially, primarily out of like respect, but second, like professional curiosity.
Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
So it's not a cartoon doodle. It's
Yeah. And,
Oh
like,
my god, this is a chalk roll circle.
Oh god. Especially with like an expert like Valen watching over you. It looks perfect to you, but Valen's like, oh, that could have been a little rounder, that could have been a little tighter, that line should have been a little longer, but you know it's close enough that it's gonna work anyway. But like this party that's like, all right, it's your first time, don't worry about it, it's okay.
It's good for a first time.
Why do I feel judged right now? I'm trying to do something to help the group, and you're just why?
Exactly. But thankfully it goes off, and each of you are able to step through the teleportation circle.
Do we come out normal?
Well, I need someone to roll me. No, I'm kidding. I can roll. Okay, don't worry. It's okay. But you guys, much to your relief, are find yourselves back in the arrival room, pretty much, of the Midnight Scale. Not too far from the entrance, a few probably like feet away. You do see Kurugu there. She seems to be holding something that's like gently glowing in her palm, and a small tool in the other one. But she's sort of looking over you and, good, so you made it. I had to keep the room small. Like as you're looking around, you notice the room didn't quite stretch to the bounds it usually does, which everyone fits decently well, but it's like 2 feet in either direction and someone's walking into a wall. But she's just, I suppose your trip went well?
Very, actually.
Good.
Are you okay? Did you need to shrink it for some reason we could help with?
No, I appreciate your concern. Just,
Oh, damn it.
what's up?
I was gonna say Ryland wants to see if it's because of the stupid demon thing, and then I remembered that I was disadvantaged. But he still wants to see.
I don't know if you'd be able to. You'd probably have to insight her.
Yeah. Yeah. Which
you're welcome to.
isn't gonna go well,
Go for
anyways. But
If
he
you want
would
to
try.
Yeah.
He would try.
Okay, let me pull up her shit.
Oh shit!
Oh, at disadvantage.
Man.
Freaking not bad. Okay, hold on. Yeah.
She rolled a 99.
No, she didn't. She did not roll a 99. It was very close. I will say it's very close. But as you're trying to read her and what she's doing, she seems focused on what's in her hands. But you do get the idea that she's very much multitasking. So, like, even though she's physically here and has something in her hands and is talking to you, there's probably something going on, maybe behind one of these doors that she tells you not to open, or something else. But it doesn't seem urgent, though. I will say, just because the rolls were close, it doesn't seem as though she's stressed about anything. It's more just like, I'm just trying to make sure I keep everything rolling, in that sense. But
Can you tell what it was in her hands? That
you can give me a perception check to see if you can see what's in her hands, because she's
your
holding
eyes.
it.
Yep. Okay. Moving on.
It's glowing a little bit. That's all I got. It's glowing a tiny bit. But that's all, more or less. But
Before we leave you, I'd like to purchase a few things, if you don't mind.
always a pleasure. Come join me downstairs. And she kind of turns and pockets both what was in her hand as well as the little tool.
Damn, so close.
Back over to the kind of like the front desk, which feel free to move yourselves down when you get a chance.
As we're going down, Nirja glances at Irene and pats her on the back and says, "I'm glad I still have all my limbs. Well done."
Did you doubt that I would pull it off?
I don't know. Not really a doubt. I'm just glad I have all of my limbs and digits. Thank you.
I'm glad you do too.
And then Nirja just kind of like puts both claws on your shoulders and just gently jostles you a little bit, all in good fun.
Valen will catch on that. I mean, you would have retained your limbs, but knowing her, you would have just been in flames. So that, whether or not that's better.
Fascinating.
Wait, is that possible?
To light me on fire.
I don't. It bites his tongue for a second. Understand your relationship with your Phoenix fully, but
No,
I mean it's possible.
Strategic level. If we could conjure up a teleportation circle to somebody, I don't know, that thinks we're an ally, but in reality we're not. We let them go first. They come out the other side, Ash.
Ask your friend if she knows any circles in the plane of fire.
Oh.
Hey.
Wait, this is dark.
Plane of fire.
Ring of fire. Yeah. Well done, Plenty. So I appreciate all of my limbs and digits as well as not being set on fire.
How come you've never said this when Valen has teleportation circled us?
Because this was your first time, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times he's done it. Ryland, how many times have you done this?
He's lost count.
5, 6 times, 7.
Really?
Yeah, it's relatively new for me as well.
All right. I stand corrected.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what it is.
Oh, all right.
You don't trust me with sorcery because I like fire.
Fire does tend to have a mind of its own from time to time.
Well, he used to be a necromancer. You weren't worried you're going to come out the other side dead?
To be fair, necromancy is a very precise school. There's not a lot of room for failure. Primarily because what you animate could just kill you. Or just won't work.
Lovely.
Control is very important.
Didn't you say you had to buy something?
That was just a moment where, like, as you guys were doing that, you see Karugu has pulled out her thing and started working again.
I apologize. The dimensional anchor spell we were talking about?
Ah, yes.
I need 2 copies, if possible. And, shit, what else was I getting?
I believe we were discussing it as an attachment to an enchanted item. I can give you a scroll as well. It might take a little more time for me. I won't have it ready right now.
Okay, 24 hours maybe?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, perfect. I'll take 1 scroll of that. What else do we want to tie it to? He looks at Ryland.
We're putting it on the belt.
On your belt.
On the Mallory belt.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we put it on your stick?
Oh,
That sounds horrible. I don't know how to say it.
You
Oh,
said it,
that's-
Nethers. No one else said it. Just-
Oh no, it was about to get even worse because I was going to remind you that I don't have the stick.
I regret to inform you, Valen, that I no longer have a stick.
You don't have the magic stick anymore?
No.
He's going to very politely remind you that our underground encounter it doesn't phase through things; it just merely comes.
Yeah. So we'll
And I'm actually kind of afraid to request it to
okay.
move now because yeah.
Invalid is right to wait a minute. What? Hold that thought. I got an idea for that, but not now. Okay, so I guess the scroll for tomorrow. I'm not sure how much that would cost.
Custom spell would make this pretty expensive. So likely 1,000 gold.
Ooh, do I have that? I do. Oh boy.
We're gonna be at Poppers.
Yep, we're back in the poorhouse.
I don't think we spent too much money out of our because most of what we spent was the previous reward and trading items and shit, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys got a like store credit, and that's what you were looking at.
Ryland will summon the piggy bank and tell him to go bug Phelan.
Oh my god! In the middle of the store, just the little piggy hits the ground and starts oinking happily, and does circles around Valen's feet.
I still have 3,000 of your golds, by the way, Ryland.
You put it in the piggy bank.
Not all of it. I think it was at like I was thinking like 1,800 maybe. It wasn't the full. So I probably have like 1,200 left. But anyway,
Okay, yeah, that's close to yeah.
Yeah. I don't have anything else left. We sold everything, right? We did a really good job on our shopping episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I mean, like I said, all of your inventory and money is on you guys. So I don't have no idea.
I don't have anything left. Okay, yeah, he's just gonna cough up the 1,000 gold. Ouch.
Okay.
For that dimensional anchor, for Ryland's people.
Yes. Okay. This will. It is also possible to transfer it to a spellbook.
Excellent. I'll need another copy at some point. This is for his family, for an issue they're dealing with. But
All right.
at
He
some
just
point,
like awkwardly waves.
yeah,
Background.
I'll come back and get another. Yeah, so we'll go from there.
Just move you guys over. All right. Anything else?
Just a quick reminder: the robes that increase your armor. How much do those go for?
She points at Irene. Those?
Oh, she has them. Yes.
Model the robes really quick and just kind of swings them. And
I'm looking over them. God dang, hold on. I have to open that up and go find that price again. Unless Maya, for some reason, remembers.
I got you through that circle in style. What are you asking me?
Yeah.
No, it's. I have to go look up the robes you're using, how much they cost. I'm in the wrong fucking section. But I was like, if you remember how much they were, that helps. But I have to go find them.
They were 10 gold.
Yep, I knew it. I was like, as soon as I opened this up, it's gonna be that. Like, it was actually 6 silver. Oh god, what is it called? I forgot. Where are they?
Spell-woven robes.
Spell-woven. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was looking in the R section. I was like, I don't see no fucking robes here.
I don't see no fucking robes.
No fucking
No
robes.
fucking robes.
Hey, just a second.
Oh boy.
As I look this up, if anyone wants to ask anything in the meantime, this is the time.
The price isn't listed, therefore.
No, I was just wondering if you remembered from that.
I gave it quite a bit of time before I said it.
Okay.
I wanted to initially, but I waited.
Vaseline has a question, if at all possible. Do we know of a place where we can get non-enchanted like clothing, just straight up clothing for this Friday's bash? Because I'm fairly certain, for example, Valen needs a whole new ensemble because it's full of holes, and I don't think that Ryland or Nirja can walk in with just their armor.
Actually, do you remember where we went shopping with Cambeach, where I got these fabulous boots, and then she models?
That was just the bazaar. That was just the bazaar, if I remember correctly.
Yes, where a lot of the clothing shops are located.
I know, but it's a different kind of meeting, right? It has to be more professional, right? So don't we have to get more formal wear?
Oh my god!
Huh?
Most classy shit I've ever heard.
It's not professional. It's just formal. It's also not a situation in which if you are not dressed, they won't kick you out. You will just look weird, and that's up to you. But she kind of like looks down at herself with like her kind of common robes and the like hood and stuff. Like she has a lot of sort of little jewelry and knickknacks, but otherwise she's not like dressed very well. Like she wouldn't be acceptable with what she's wearing either. I'm not the kind. I can ask if you're interested, but not that I know.
Oh, well, thank you. That would be fantastic if you could.
Sure.
I would like to try and blend in, I guess, at this place.
Yes. There are plenty of tailors and haberdasheries, anything you can think of. Bazaar has many things.
That's true.
While this is going on, Ryland's kind of writing in his little notebook. Hey, can you ask Cambeach where to find nice dress clothes in the city? He might not know, but they're just asking.
All right. So you write that in. Okay. I'm pretty sure I have the correct cost of these robes. I could be wrong, and I hope not, because it's in my big list of things, and it seems accurate. Just making sure that I have it down. I'd have it wrong.
You're not sure.
Your big list of things.
We can always backtrack and figure out if I was right or wrong, but for now, I believe it was 3,500 gold.
Got it. 3,500.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just do 3,000.
Yeah.
I mean,
Be safe to say that.
Okay. Valen will thank her again. When we get the funds, I will absolutely come back for a couple of things here.
Wasn't there a problem of she kind of like motions towards like your glasses and your that like all of your magic things?
I'm thinking if we know we're getting into a fight, I might not need it. I have a spell that covers a lot of what these can do. So if I prepare that in advance, that will allow me to hopefully not get stabbed as often.
Yes. That is true. But she took my only one, so it will take me a moment to make another anyway. So you have time.
Could you get one in black? Is that possible?
oh my god.
I can make it.
You know what? Can you make it rainbow colored? He just We need to get him out of this.
No, it's my color. It goes so well with the green.
Black is not a color; it's the absence of light.
Oh dear.
All right.
I can make one black. Yes.
Thank you. And
Riley like puts a gold on the table. We're like, got a gold in it for if you make it all white.
Oh no!
You see her like look between Ryland and Valen, and then just look back at Ryland, and she slowly slides it back. It's fine. It's okay.
I also imagined it was a platinum piece that he was sliding. He was just saying gold out of habit.
I imagine she would honestly slide it back still, and it's like, that's okay. Thank you.
my friend has a hard time with currency. He's
I'll
ready
come
to
back
go.
later.
No,
I'm thinking it's maybe you see our little friend over there, and she's pointing at the little piggy bank.
Yeah.
You can just like embroider those all over his black robes.
See, he was the one who requested the robes, so I will listen to him. If you want another robe with those pigs on it, I can do that too.
No,
Okay.
unlike him, I'm satisfied with the way your work was originally.
Well, that's great to hear.
Thank you, Kurugu, for your professionalism. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Which, by the way, speaking of professionalism, it sounds as though you have a lot to do lately, right?
Yes.
You know, we have a few things.
Yeah. Just
What did you have in mind?
nothing in mind. Just keeping up with what you are doing. I might be busy, not tomorrow, but the day after. So if you need to port in, Iguru will take care of things for you.
Okay. Are you going to leave the sending stone with them?
Yes.
Got it.
Do you need help?
You are busy, and this is personal, but thank you.
Oh,
We keep asking her if she needs help. She's quite capable. All right.
Ryland is gonna kind of make that eye contact with her and try and be like, "Is it?" Like he's asking. I don't know if it's coming out right at all, especially since he's exhausted. But he wants. In his eyes, he's trying to be like, "Is it that?"
That stupid
bastard?
eyebrow dance. Just hit her at different angles with the same eyebrow move.
He is trying to be subtle, but I imagine he's
I know,
not.
I imagine it's terrible. Give me a persuasion. He does, but he's at disadvantage because he's exhausted. So it's like,
Take that!
oh shit!
Yeah, another nat 20 eaten by a stupid disadvantage.
I'm so sorry, Flandy. But as you ask her this, at first you can see like she's not put off by the way you're asking. It's probably more like she doesn't want to talk about like the topic of it, sort of thing. So as you mention it, she at first kind of recoils and then tilts her head as a like subtle like, yeah, probably that. But looks towards the rest of the group. I don't imagine it will take more than a day. So, like I said, not tomorrow, but the day after. I will
Does that line up with what we're doing on Friday?
If today is Wednesday and tomorrow is Thursday, correct.
All right. Yeah, I was just double checking it.
No, it's okay.
She's going to part.
Valen's just gonna make a note of that, but not actually say anything. Okay. I'm ready to go if you guys are.
Yes.
Oh wait, aren't I giving her the staff on Friday? Because it was getting upgraded. Right?
Which one was
Chris.
getting out? Hold on, let me make sure I probably wrote that down, hopefully. Oh no, I have it in my other notebook. Ooh.
Because
I know I wrote
A,
down all of your
there's not a lot of people he thinks he can trust with it, and then two,
Yeah.
who's not going to be with him?
You were upgrading your DC, if I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yes, that was the plan. And
Okay,
she will
so
confirm.
got it. Okay, yeah, that he's good to go. I'll stop. Shoppy time. We're good.
No. See you soon. Safe travels.
Absolutely. Like
Blah, blah, blah.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Kurugu. Be well.
You as well.
I feel like he's doing one of those, like, get him. Like, as he's saying goodbye, like, he's just like, get his ass.
As you turn back to look at her, and you kind of make that gesture, for just a moment, you see her eyes kind of flash like a purplish color, but it disappears, and she just kind of looks at you as you leave and goes back to whatever she was tinkering with in her hands.
I imagine he would not have any idea what that means. But he's very curious.
Yeah.
You know what? I take that back. He's definitely seen a lot of women flash his eyes at him in disappointing ways.
Oh.
I mean, not in like straight color. But oh my god, that's amazing to be like, my character's very familiar with the disappointed look of women.
My man.
He grew up with Ruth. I mean, Hasina.
Never found a woman
He's like
who
a
couldn't
reverse
disappoint. Bad boy.
Casanova. You're the antithesis of Casanova.
Please believe I've never met a woman I've never been able to disappoint. Anyway,
Buddy.
Funny, we love you very much. But with that, I'm assuming you guys head out of the Midnight Scale. Out to do your thing, I suppose. Where would you guys like to head? Or
I think
In a bunker, somewhere safe where nothing can know exists.
yeah. Let's go back to the Preventor's Mansion.
I don't even remember. What else did we have to do today? Because
No.
The library.
it's kind of yours though. It's kind of like
Yep.
your rich uncle died and then he gave you his house kind of situation. Like you didn't have to pay for anything. It was just like yours.
It's the royalties guest house.
Right, yeah, pretty much. But I mean it's like they gave you the deed and stuff. Like it's yours.
Actually, is the bazaar on the way to?
Unfortunately, no.
All right, then Irene's not gonna be like, you know what? If it was on the way, I would, but nope.
Yep.
We have enough problems.
Just go from point A to point B.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Well, my lovely's back in the city, and you're taking a trip, even if it's short. I need someone to roll me a d20, please.
I can.
Get the hell out of
Yes,
here,
it is.
Paco. Absolutely not.
Wait. Ditters,
Yes.
I have a solution to this problem. We need to draw a teleportation circle directly in our home.
Yeah, if you stay there, we can do
takes a
that.
year.
It takes a year. You have to cast the spell every day for a year.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have that kind of spots to burn, but yeah, if we settle here, then that's an option. But
Yep.
and
I
it's
don't
great
think
with
you can
you.
miss the day either.
Well, with two of us, then that's
We
great
take
because
turns,
you can take turns. And if she needs to be out hanging out with dead people, that's cool. If I need to go,
What?
don't act like you don't hang out. You hang out with more dead people than I do right now.
What?
They're coming to the city, man.
Shots fired.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
You know what? That's why you deserve those robes.
Oh my god. That is amazing.
I got the robe
Okay.
Are the kids are
for
fighting?
in the Google chat rooms. You can go ahead and check those out. Get those Valen. Those are perfect for him.
Yep. Thank you very much. Flandy, roll me a d8, please.
Oh,
Minutes, roll her a d8.
Or
Ooh.
anyone. Yeah, it doesn't have to be from him. Anybody roll me a d8.
Minute, before you roll it,
Yes.
roll it like a goblin.
Oh gosh.
Come on.
Oh my god.
See?
Oh my god.
That's not how your goblin rolls, man.
That was a response. It's like a hilarious response. Okay. Double check.
Not a
I
goblin.
did want to say, as soon as we left the shop and we're out of earshot, Ryland would have asked Valen about the purple eyes. Been like, does that mean something? Like, am I crazy? Did I see? Did you see that?
You're far more observant than me, but if you're talking about purple eyes, I mean, sometimes you switch. It's usually a vision thing, like true sight, or I mean, not true sight specifically, but detect magic, see good and evil, that kind of thing. Would Valen know? Could he do an Arcananas?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. I'm at a.
Absolutely.
Do I always get
Arc
flat?
bananas.
I'm so rusty. Do I get advantage for that, or is it just flat? I don't remember.
No, I think you get
I think
history and
Jesus
religion is Arcana.
I've always used.
Halo.
Yeah.
I don't think your Jesus Halo gives you advantage. on
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, maybe that was investigation.
Why?
it.
What I tell you about rolling like a goblin?
Investigation. I think you're correct with that. Yeah, investigation and insight. if
I'll
you're-
look it up now. I didn't if you know at the top of your head.
No, I'm just making sure I'm not being crazy. Okay.
You know what? Roll like you're trying to slap us with a tentacle monster.
Are you trying to protect children?
Oh man, he beat the shit out of us last night, and that's why Maya's sick. But anyway, you haven't quite heard of like a purple in the eyes necessarily. Like detect magic is usually kind of a bluish color, and like true sight and all those others usually have different either colors or something that you can't quite place. However, the purple, it's not exact, but
You said it looked like flames too, right? Like kind of flamed over. Or...
it just kind of like sparked over. If anything, it almost kind of looked like electricity in a way. And if you had to guess, it sounds closest to, say, witch bolt. However, as though it was sort of being maintained. However, you know that witch bolt is a very specific range, and that concentration is pretty short. She was talking to you for over a minute, but she may have been holding it on something else that you could not see.
I believe she was entertaining her friend in a non-polite way.
Good. She's gonna like kind of like chip her up just a little bit, and then just like, oh man, my back really hurts. Oh.
we got to get you to a bed. Let's go.
Yeah.
That exhaustion is real.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
I feel like you got a rock in your shoe. Oh, dude.
Just not feeling great. Just not feeling great.
Blisters everywhere.
But as you guys are walking, it's thankfully a relatively short trip. And that was part of the nice thing about getting the Preventor's Estate. Is it's actually closer to both the palace and Kurugu. But it is further away from other things like the library, the bookstore that you guys have gotten to know, and the bazaar. But it's like a, oh, hi, honey.
I don't know if you said but that many times. Guys, let's run.
But no. It's a nice 20-minute walk or so. And about 10 to 15 minutes into it, when you guys are relatively close to your place, and also where the road starts to kind of split off and head towards a more populated area, such as like the area where the bazaar starts, or other shops begin. Treebender looks a little restless, and soon after kind of walks his way up to Valen, and you feel him kind of like nudge at what would normally be your hip, but his head hits a little bit higher, so it kind of hits you like mid-rib instead. But through your tongues and him being a smarter creature and being able to communicate with you, he speaks to you and says, the smell is back.
The smell of the people who kidnapped you.
Yes.
Valen will immediately just stop everybody. Eyes up. There are that group might be back here again. Treebender is detecting them, and Valen is not going to keep Treebender out of his sight. And as
Treebender's doing this, you can see that like the fur and feathers on him have sort of like raised up a little bit. He seems to kind of be like like fluffing himself out.
Wait, how does Valen announce that?
Did you say anything out loud?
Yeah, he announced it to everybody.
Okay.
Yep, 100%.
Okay.
Okay.
Can Near just start, just
So don't go
scanning?
ahead and roll me a perception check when you get a chance. I know the cat's kind of settling on you. You take your time. Yodra, what were you saying?
Can Nirdra, start scanning and, like, not like she wasn't before. It was a lot lower, but now she's starting to scan with a lot more detail, like looking people up and down, things like that.
Sure. You can also roll perception, or you can give Kodrono advantage. It's up to you.
I'll give Kodrono advantage.
All right. Drono, you roll one more time for me. Ryland, in your, just making sure, I always like read this.
Fuck yeah!
Dang, look at that roll.
Attaboy!
Just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, good. Ryland, you don't catch anything on the breeze.
Oh, hold on, I linked the wrong one. Let me fix that real
Yeah,
quick.
here we go. Yep, I'm ready.
Oh dear.
Taking some time, but we're ready.
Are there any guards nearby?
Yeah. Around here, because it is a little more populated, There do seem to be some every so often.
There you go.
In pairs and bitches, and all caps at the bottom. Yeah, not too far off. Probably
bitch-free environment.
the first ones that you see, Valen, are probably like another 150 feet away from you or so. They seem to be kind of patrolling in your direction, but you do see them, and then like in a block that you guys just passed, you remember like spawning another pair.
Oh, you mean guards, not bitches. Okay.
Guards.
He'll kind of like try to gently flag them down.
Okay. You see the two of them like looking around for a second and then looking at you, and then slowly like kind of picking up their pace and heading towards you. But oh my god, Nubs just like squished himself in the pillows. I don't know if you can see it. So that's a live picture of what Nubs is doing right now. Oh god.
Thank you.
There
Thank
go.
you for that.
Yeah.
Yay!
Just like curled up in there. Anyway, the guards kind of like pick up their pace and make it to you. But the first one, which is like a woman, the other male, just are you okay, sir?
I'm not. I think we're being followed by some never-do-wells. If you don't mind, just our home's not far away. If you could just escort us, that'd be much appreciated.
Of course. We have been tasked to keep an eye out for the preventers. So.
Much appreciated. We've been through a lot.
Keep an eye out for them or on them?
For them? Should we keep an eye on you?
Oh no, I'm glad you heard something else. That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Why
no,
are they watching out for us, Foos?
For you, yes, not on
Those
you.
damn preventers, they're up to something.
Those preventers are bitches. No, you're all set.
Your defiant sense goes crazy.
I will say though, as they're kind of setting up something, you see them kind of like wave over to other guards, and they seem to kind of tap into something on their hips that, one of them taps on their hip at least. It seems to be sort of, it almost looks like a sundial. However, like where the sundial sort of like triangular part is locked into that circle, she seems to kind of like rotate it slightly, and you see one of the sides of it start to glow a little bit, and you see her kind of like mumble under her breath. But afterwards, you start hearing some of the guards kind of convening around you to get ready to escort you. In the meantime, I will say Treebender seems to relax a little bit more. Not necessarily because of the guards, but you can kind of tell that his senses maybe aren't picking them up as much or at all. And Ryland, towards the very end of your divine sense, you do catch Fiend.
Does he catch the general direction?
Yes. Okay. I'm not just going to do it in time-wise because I was like, you guys are heading south, east, and it is in that direction. You know what I mean? So in the direction that you are heading, it's roughly at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Ooh.
Irene's going to actually gently nudge Nerja for a second and be like, hey, watch over me for a second. And she's going to pull out that map and like literally mark down the location they are right now because they're picking them up.
Yeah.
We need to come back and whoop some ass. This is where we start.
Nirja is 100%, doing patrol stuff and, minding also Cadrono because she knows he is very good at perceiving these kinds of things.
It's actually, as you're kind of doing that Cadrono kind of like taps your shoulder because Cadrono, as you're looking around, you make out what seems to be a relatively familiar figure on a rooftop in the general direction that you actually see Ryland turning in because that's where you sense the demon. But on a rooftop, even though the sun is out, she's sort of backlit with the sun behind her. You're fairly certain that is the succubus that you have seen a few times before. She doesn't seem to be facing you, but she seems to be kind of busying herself doing something. Yeah.
I expect to hear the proto-band whistle now.
The roof makes it even better, right? Like, she just gets a scarf out of nowhere. a few of you are turning your direction. Like it's like Kodrono, Nirja, and Ryland kind of catch us at the same time.
So she's not staring at us?
No, her back seems to be to you. Like, you got a fucking 21 perception. She looks like she's leaning over something, and you can't tell what she's doing, but her arms are moving in some way. It's a little hard to make out from here.
Sifting through the organs of her latest kill.
What the?
You don't see this cat here. I'm kidding.
Dark in house.
I can't. What?
Yeah, we can't hear Debs at all.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
Everyone's talking at the same time too, though. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's true.
John was like, I'm gonna keep an eye on her while we're walking towards the house.
Okay. Just keep an eye on her while we go to the house.
Yes.
Ryland would have immediately burned another divine sense and moved in that direction to see if it's getting closer, staying the same, moving away, because he may not have clocked her yet or it yet, but he's definitely like he's searching for it and trying to get a ping on it more directly. But he may take, I'd say, probably move like 10, 15 feet away from the group unless someone stopped him. He's just kind of like on hand at the hip, like.
Okay. I'll say at this part, the two guards that were with you are still kind of in the front of you, but the two that kind of passed that other block are on their way to kind of get the flank of you and guard you in that sense. But as you're moving forward and you cast your second divine sense, it doesn't seem to be moving. It seems to be in that same exact spot. And you don't ping anything new. I should also
Can he? Does he lay eyes on her now?
Yes, I would say if you're looking in the direction,
Okay.
you can make out the back of her hair and the dress that she is typically in, leaning over doing something.
Ooh. Yep. Ryland's going to attempt to. I don't know if she's talked to him in his head before, but he's gonna try and like mentally, I guess, reach out and be like, Lahiri?
I don't know if you heard Dubs, but in the background, he's just sucky. Oh, sup, dude. Okay. That's so rude. Anyway, you don't get a response back, but she still seems to be busy.
Yeah. She left you on red, son.
May not have gotten red.
Ryland, do you want to stand on my shoulders? I'll lift you up.
That definitely snaps him out. He's like, how much do you lift?
How much can you deadlift, bro?
Do you even crit, bro?
I don't think you want me on your shoulders. I'm at least like, he's gonna look at, or he's gonna instinctively look at Cambish and be like, oh yeah.
Oh.
It's gonna be like, I've got to at least be like, I don't know, 30 Cambishes.
You're not respecting her gains, bro.
I'm not light either. Just a suggestion.
Let's keep moving towards the house, and we can talk about gymnastics later.
Another time.
We really need to not get into any more fights, please. Let me just. What do you need? What do you need to deal with?
I don't think this is a fight, but
What usually happens when you investigate things you sense in distance?
he's kind of he's trying to calculate shit in his head, but it's not going over so well because he's tired. But the fact that Treebender got spooked and the fact that she's there, he's just gonna like, we'll figure out later, and then kind of submit to the group.
What did you see?
Lahiri.
Oh. Well, she can reach out whenever she needs to. And it just keeps going.
You guys.
Sorry. He's just gonna like. I think she wanted more to do with that group of people than she let on when she saved us.
Because you're sensing her at the same time.
Well, he got upset, which means that probably some culprits here, and then to see her in the same place, it's two coincidences very close to each other.
Logical.
But she also, he's having like, he's short circuiting right now. He's like, but she's also in the open, in the daylight, in the middle of the city. Why would she wouldn't do that? He just has a really like bad feeling, and it's just like I don't know what to do.
Let's just get home. Let's get home. We can talk and discuss and plan if need be.
We'll figure her out eventually. Right now, let's just get from point A to point B without a problem for once.
Oh shit! Did we leave Ruthie?
Oh no! No, Rusi came with. I will also mention though, like as you guys are having this conversation, Kevin is just sitting there like with his arm ready. It's just like trying to like listen to what's happening, and it's like.
Kevin, just keep your eyes out. Anyone who makes a move towards us, or if there's any kind of, if you detect any spell casting, let me know.
Yeah, all right. I don't think I heard it. What happened?
The people that kidnapped Treebender are nearby.
Oh.
Or he detects them. He has a very good nose.
Oh. Okay. That sounds terrible. All right. I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, and Vale will always have a hand on Treebender. Like physical contact.
Yeah. Okay.
Until we get there.
He definitely seems to be calming down. And as you guys are starting to kind of be surrounded by 6 guards in total, the 2 that originally came had 4 more arrive. But Flanty just like getting his little fingers in that was hilarious. But Treebender communicates to you. Smell is gone. It's all not gone. Like
Deteriorating?
presence.
Fading.
Yes.
Ryland's going to. I think I need to talk to her. We gotta see what's going on up there.
Oh boy.
She rolled in that one.
Collective grumble from the group.
One time through the city. Nothing goes wrong.
Yep. Just invite your girlfriend over for some tea. We can talk. Or I can banish her.
Do you send in close enough to get a message out? I don't.
He's gonna start walking that way. He's.
Oh my god, he's.
I have. Ryland, please, let's just get home. We have so much to do. Invite her over if you want.
I don't. We won't get answers. And he's going.
He's gonna like physically put his hand on it for a moment, like not like violently, obviously, but like trying to grab something on his thing. I can cast sending. It will cost me a 5th level slot to do it, but I can do it if you want.
Then let me go over there. It'll be fine.
Or you walk into an ambush and we fight to death in the middle of the street. I'd really rather not do that. Could you just?
He's just staring at that rooftop.
Valent.
Me.
You. Look, we're exhausted.
See how tired he is?
It's not.
I mean,
you know this. Demons can make themselves look like whatever they want in certain kinds. I can make myself look like whatever I want. Just trust me. Let's get home. I will cast sending. We can talk to her. If she has an issue, we can talk about it there where we're safe. But you leaving there puts us at risk.
He's just checking on her and staring, and he's just like, we won't get the answers if we don't.
I can talk to her. I don't understand.
He can literally do a spell that will let you talk to her. I don't.
Yes.
Why?
Well, let's do it now.
Oh my god.
Can we?
All right. I'm
go
trusting you. I need you to trust me. Kevin, keep an eye on me.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
And he's going to cast at fucking 5th level because my paladin doesn't want to go home. Sending.
I'm sorry, you rolled it up. What? He's very determined.
25 words, baby. Let's go.
He's watching too to see if she reacts or that whatever it is up there reacts with them sending.
Mm-hmm.
He is like eyes glued. Like if any like somebody could be like waving next to him and he'd be like,
Yeah, I would say roll me perception, but it's flat. Just you would have advantage, but you have disadvantage, so flat.
I whispered it.
I imagine that Irene's done with the map by now, and she's just looking to Nerja, then looking to Valen, then looking to Nerja, then looking up. And wherever Ryland's got his eyes fixated, it's just like we're gonna fight again, aren't we?
There's also kind of a not tension, but you see the guards around you are kind of like, we're ready to go when you are. But they're not saying anything at the moment. They're kind of like giving you your space. But they're also keeping an eye on everything else.
You've said ion.
They're ion.
Yeah,
But yes, they're also looking around.
Ask Pelumbra.
Valen will say,
brother.
Good day. Valen here. Ryland wants to know if you want to talk. If so, you can meet us at the mansion.
And Ryland, with your perception, you do actually kind of see the figure straighten up for a little bit and then kind of resume what it was doing. But Valen, you hear, "Hello, dear. It's nice to hear from you. I'm actually getting something that helps me mostly. I don't quite like the 6-on-1. Maybe another time."
She's, as usual, serving her own needs and would not prefer to meet us 6-on-1. So, but doesn't sound like she wants to meet or talk to you specifically.
Based on that reaction, he's just gonna let out a sharp whistle, like loud enough that she would be able to hear it. He wants to make eye contact.
What are you doing? Why?
I should have polymorphed you into a squirrel.
You should have. Can you still do it?
No, 2 was the highest spell after I got to this.
After that, you see the figure kind of like straighten for a second and not look back. Her back is still to you. But soon after, not you, but like, who else is looking in her direction, would you say? What'd you say?
He was just following his gaze to try to pinpoint what the hell he was doing.
Nirja's looking at everything else because she knows everybody's kind of focusing on that. She wants to make sure that nothing, blindsides them.
All right. Arcana check for those who are looking in her direction.
Okay. Ryland.
Codrono's so good at Arcana, don't you worry. Oh, I know you're not.
You said not Ryland, correct?
Ryland can't. It's anyone who's looking at her.
Okay. Initially, you said not Ryland. That's all.
Oh my
Oh
God.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm free.
Take that.
Oh boy. Well, you try to get us into the scrap and you crit failing.
It's all right. Don't worry. Don't panic. It's okay. All right. So that's everybody. Just making sure I'm not skipping anyone. Okay. Ryland, you're just kind of too busy looking at her form that you don't catch what her arms are doing. Codrono, you're sure she's casting a spell, but it's a little hard to make out. Irene, however, you
I'm just getting tense up and like almost out already.
yeah, like, oh, she's casting a spell. Irene, you see that she is casting a spell immediately. And just seeing her back and the way her elbows are kind of moving, you immediately recognize that she's casting invisibility. And immediately afterwards, the rest of you lose sight of her.
She really doesn't want to be found. That was invisibility.
Let's go home, please.
Yes, Ryland, this is a fool's errand. We really need to.
Ryland's gonna burn one last divine sense just to see if she's on the move, because he's paranoid mode right now.
I can't. I'm
You don't know what he's doing. This get out of here. I don't know. Maybe you do.
Yeah, okay, one more. She still seems to be in the same spot.
He's just gonna intently stare, and he's not letting his eyes off of where she was, and that he's walking with the group backwards, fucking staring to me.
Walking backwards, but looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it will signal that we're going home. We need to get in this damn house.
Please.
Can you stop him? I don't know. she is a succubus. Are you fixated?
I think he is.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Ruthie.
Yeah, sorry. I was like,
Yeah, look at you right now.
oh my god. Oh, Nebby was coming for some cuddles. But yeah, no, she is with the group the whole time, but she doesn't seem to kind of like sense her and what was going on specifically. But with that, unless anyone was going to do anything else, the group is escorted back to the Preventer estate, where the guards are able to get you to your front door with no problem at all. So, with all that, let me get you to your new place. Well, not, you know, it's newish, new map times. But
Map times.
as you guys step in and close the door behind you, it is the first time in a while that you guys have had any kind of like peace. Even the last time you were here and you spent the night, there was an abyssal chicken on the first floor.
Yeah.
There was just like no one was really having a great night. Like Valafar left the night before. Like it's been a lot of stress, and there still is plenty of stress. But
Thanks, Ryland.
you guys make it in, and you can't help but feel a bit of a sense of a relief just from being able to actually make it home, and for once to not have perhaps a deadly creature in your home at the same time. But you guys have made it. What would you like to do now?
Valen, did you know sleep?
I lost it.
Damn it. She's just staring at Ryland.
I feel like Ryland's just like
ways to stop him from being an idiot.
Ryland's just like, when was the last time he slept? We've been trying to get him to sleep for years.
I don't need to sleep.
Not him.
I just need to study. I have a bunch of things I need to get going. So Valen's just gonna keep his stuff. Treebender, if you want to stay with me, you're more than welcome to. But he's gonna start making his way. And then as he stops, Nurja, can I talk to you for a bit?
Of course.
Okay. And he'll move over to his study.
Nurja will follow.
Kimane follows as well.
As always.
Before everyone departs, he's gonna just remind everyone. Well, Flanny's gonna remind everyone that we still have to get Treebender's armor.
Yes.
Meeting with the kings. Check up on the adoption lady. The kings are probably doing that, hopefully, because they said they would. Visit the demon lady place. Her flowers and shit. Plants and shit. Find the crush. Deal with Nurja's demons. Find Esgineth and recruit Garai.
Yeah, and also to go to the library to read about the Eladrin for both Nirja and for Kambish.
Yeah.
Well done, Flandy.
Aww.
I have an active to-do list.
Yep.
It is ridiculous right now.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it doesn't contain everything.
Nope. I have a list too. Number 1 is Kill Budai. Number 2 is Negotiate for
Guy, Volume 1.
Yeah.
All right. So
Number 2 is Res Budai. Number 3 is Kill Budai.
but I'll say Valen and Nurja and Kimane and Treebender are off in that room. I'll just go through the rest of you one by one. Now that you guys are home, Kodrono, is there anywhere or with anyone you would like to be with or do? Huh?
What's going on?
Everyone's just kind of possibly doing their own thing. I can come to you after and have you, if you want to like tag along with someone, you can do that. So Irene, is there anything you would like to do?
Actually, yeah. I was kind of medication drunk the last time I was active for Irene. So, I know she asked about Ayala. Did she get any materials from the forest? Like a book or anything to read?
No, not a specific book, if I remember correctly. Let me double check.
We have to go to the King's Library primarily for that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all you got from that.
We weren't allowed to check that book out. They don't trust us.
Oh, right. They said that she needed to do something while flying.
You need to do something heroic in the air, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, definitely not the day for that. She's.
Go.
And then you got the scroll and fly or something like that.
Yeah, you guys are doing some like cool shit, being
phone.
like, "What if we did all this shit?" Yeah, there was.
She's actually going to head out for the Valen. In this case, in case he needs assistance with any of his magical stuff.
Okay, sounds good. Ryland, is there anything or anywhere you would like to be?
I feel like he wanted to go over some things with Nurse, but Valen already stole her, so he's just gonna be like, well, fine.
Yeah.
He's gonna go
Apparently I'm very popular.
Go to sleep.
to plant room. He's gonna pull out. Actually, no. You know what? He's
Sleep.
not a fucking ranger. He's gonna do some ranger bullshit. I'm kidding.
Huh.
He is going to try and he's just gonna tap into like just nature, like I get relax and try and figure out / search for A, Colosvena, and then B, just search his mind for the ways that he's seen to protect from Mr. Voluptuous Eyelashes. Because those are the two things that Maliki told him to do, and he's going to try and do it. Not that he's going to succeed or anything, but
Okay. How are you doing this exactly?
that's the like. He's just going to kind of sit down and relax in his room and just kind of like try and stretch his mind out. Like I don't know. Like I said, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that it's going to connect, but he's just going to try and just sit there and relax and open his mind to stuffs.
Is it more like he's just trying to like brainstorm something, or is he just almost like waiting for the universe to give him an answer kind of situation?
I feel like it's the universe thing, and then he gets like kind of distracted, and then he's like rummaging through his minds and like, but he's like, the phone's on the hook. He just doesn't have it on his ear.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll say at the moment you're kind of like meditating, but yeah, I will have you do that. So
If
basically,
he's any crickets hop by, he'll ask them.
right. Good. Basically, everybody is either in the study or you can meditate with Ryland Codrono. Yeah, meditating basically.
Go to the study.
All right, so he's heading to the study. So I'll pick up with them first, and then we'll go back to. What'd you say?
Is it nap time yet? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it can be. If you want to go take your long rest now, like you can do that. That's why I was asking everybody. If like you don't necessarily have to have a task. If you just want to be like, I'm going to start my long rest now, go for it.
It's like daytime.
It's still daytime, yeah, but you guys are on a weird schedule because you're shifting on and off from night and day, so it's like it's just strange. But if you would like, you could start your long rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Don't forget, you need Raise Dead tomorrow.
To prepare the spell.
Okay.
Thank you.
That would be funny.
Wait, we need
Don't forget, you need to raise some dead tomorrow.
Yeah. Right. You do need the diamond too, which I don't know if you have.
I think we need a diamond, but
I think we got a diamond from what's
Could
it?
it be right? I
No,
thought you
didn't we get?
Or
Isn't
was
it the
it-
diamond that we're going to use? That we got from the body, because you said we're.
Somebody had a diamond. It was either Karugu, him, or my.
I think it was him because
Malafar.
Nenners, you were making the argument that we didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
He would pay for his own resurrection.
He kind of already has because that whip was.
If
that's
I were-
quite a bit.
people.
I don't. Okay. Again, this is why it's like you guys have to keep track of your inventories because I
No, you
don't.
have to.
I got too much shit to take care of. That's on you.
Balafar gave us a diamond, didn't he?
He did, but I think it was only 250. I think the resurrection one is specifically like 500 gold.
Oops.
Yeah,
Raise
that's
that.
it. Exactly.
Yep, 500
Because I'm
GP.
pretty
Okay.
sure even the diamond on the other guy was not enough.
So what if we glued like another 250
No,
gem?
no,
No.
it's one diamond. You need one diamond. I thought you
Wait.
purchased one though, because I
What if
remember you guys talking about it.
we get 250 diamonds and then Kadrono hits them with his hammer really hard?
Well,
And you have no diamonds. You have diamond dust.
all right, and then by mend it back to one diamond. All right, no. What we're gonna do is, we'll prepare the spell. We'll get the thing tomorrow. We have enough gold to pick it up if need be, or we can trade in the 250, put another 250, and get a bigger one.
I'm pretty sure you did buy one though.
I am
Okay.
too, but we'll move on. We'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
We'll run. Okay.
But yeah,
Uh,
so You are going to bed. Ryland is meditating. I'll pick up with the. Actually, this might be. Do you guys want to take your break now, or wait, go a little bit more and then take our break? What do you guys like? This might be a good.
Eddie has 13 minutes and 15 seconds for his dinner to be ready. So.
Okay, so we'll wait until your dinner's ready then. How about that? So that you can eat. That's actually good. I'm glad I asked. See, there you go. All right, so we'll pick up with team study, which is Irene, Yurja, Valen, Kimane, and Treebender. So,
Valen, do you need assistance with anything magically oriented?
No, it's just going to be a lot of writing for me tonight as he's kind of like laying out the scrolls he has to add into his book.
What did you want to ask me?
Well, I mean, while you're here, and so is Irene, I just wanted to, I don't know, how do I put this, but...
You about to scold us again?
Yeah.
Damn it!
I don't know if you understand, but my brother and I made a pact. I made a pact to get my brother out, right?
You fulfilled that?
I did not. The Lich Queen, or the Queen can pull me out and him whenever she wants.
I see.
Regardless of how we are prepared, or lack thereof. She is not merciful. I can't... I've already lost 2 brothers. I do not want to entertain losing a 3rd. And especially if it's something that can be avoided.
And your concern was that we were sparring and thus our health went down, all that stuff, and you
beat each other nearly to death. I mean, there's sparring. I grew up in a Gith culture. I get sparring. We didn't go that far, typically.
So I fully understand and acknowledge your argument. I do. It's actually something that our senior commanders tend to grapple with, and more often than not, they do explain this to us, and they do say, you know, it's one thing to practice; it is another thing to, you know, hurt yourselves. So. Moving forward, then, it will just be drills. It will not be sparring.
Did you go without weapons and armor?
Yes.
Don't you need your weapon?
I put it down temporarily. I don't see what the issue would be, since it was not for a very long time.
Can Ryland do an Arcana check to kind of see what that would do?
Sure.
All right.
Okay, roll me an investigation check at the same time.
I'm rolling amazing right now. In case anybody's wondering, that was a 6, an 8, and a 3. Maya was putting up some numbers yesterday, but the president's back, baby.
I know. I need you back, baby. I'm here for you. Single digits all day long.
I got you.
Okay, so just a reminder, we do have inspirations out tonight. So it's not saying you use it now, just reminding Kodrono, Nirja, you guys have inspiration in case anyone does poorly. But Valen, just thinking about it for a little bit. At first, you're like, it shouldn't have been a problem. We weren't in the city. The city is infested with demons. We know that. That's why we're here. Blah, 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 blah. However, it does make sense that without it, even for a short period of time, it might be a time for those demons in there to make a move. Not necessarily mean that more are infesting her mind, but that the ones in there are advancing plans, perhaps, instead. It gives them a chance to do something while guard is down. So with your kind of Arcana check, that's you sort of thinking through that situation and what they're capable of. You don't know what's in there, but just from hearing possibilities from Mwata as well, the lore elder, who's like, this is possible demons that could be there, just thinking about it. Some of them were known to be schemers. So maybe something was happening or developing in that short period of time. And in your investigation check, as you're looking over her, full armor and her Mithril Majesty back on her.
Not green.
Yeah, her armor is green. Correct, her armor is green at the moment.
And even though Irene is tending to Treebender, getting him calm, fluffing him, and also hiding behind him because she's trying to be insulted.
Okay. But Valen, as you're looking at Mithril Majesty, it seems to be flaring every so often.
Have you checked in with your friend?
I haven't. Not in a while.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but I would suggest doing so soon because it looks like it's trying to signal something.
Okay. So she will go over here by the doorway and sit on her shins and then put Mithril Majesty to her forehead.
All right. You can give me, I think just a general wisdom check. I can't think of anything that would otherwise like.
Wisdom.
Hold on. Let me just look over it and make sure that's the correct.
Click the button.
I'm fairly certain this.
In the meantime, Irene's gonna peek up from the massive blue feathers. Kind of be Valen. Something going on? I only caught half of that. Do you need me to?
I need you to be more responsible.
No, seriously. What's going on with her?
She needs the staff, the glaive, to protect her from outsider influence, but it also stops inside progress as well. And it looks like it's attempting to signal something, so she's going to try to commune.
Oh, can
Insight.
she? Oh, I'm so
No,
sorry.
you can go ahead. I'm just telling her what to roll, but go ahead.
Insight. The big flat 0. Ooh.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Go ahead, Irene.
Can Irene park next to Valen and just kind of alongside him, like observe what's going on with the Mithril Majesty and its connection to Nirda while she's doing this?
Yes. Valen, what are your glasses on right now?
I believe they're still on C and Viz. He doesn't.
We need like a ticker to make sure we
Yeah.
know what it's on.
Yeah.
That's always like, I don't know what it is right now. Detect magic and see invisibility or whatever. Okay, so with that and her focusing, and Kevin's just kind of leaning in like, yo man, I already apologized. Are you still mad?
A little bit, but we'll talk about it later.
All right. Yo, what's she doing?
She's communing with her weapon.
Okay.
Imagine she has spirits in her head, and that there's a spirit in her weapon that helps her against those spirits.
Is she like a spirit person?
You did this to yourself?
No, I was just crudely putting the situation. We'll talk at length later.
Oh, all
brother,
right.
trust
Yeah.
me.
All right. Do you need me to do anything?
No, you're at ease, soldier. To
Alright.
make yourself comfortable.
Sure. Cool. He just like awkwardly stands next to you. Doesn't know what to do with himself. But Nirja in that time, trying to focus in on Mithril Majesty, and now that it's in your hands, it is quite warm. But it's not quite the battle warmth that you felt before, where like after the heat of battle, he may be sort of God damn it, Dubs is singing. But after the heat of battle, there seems to be sort of like an energy from him that is almost like excited to be there. God damn it. Please don't get us struck. But instead, it feels instead almost like a natural heat, as if someone superheated the polearm, as opposed to sort of like, I don't know how to explain it, but not like the tender heat that it was before, but instead sort of like an intense one. But it flares. It's not a constant thing, but every so often you'll see it just kind of and light up and then die back down again. But in focusing on that, you're not quite transported to the place you have come to know as your sort of mind maze, where you have those different souls that are inhabiting it and who speak with you. But instead, you're just focusing intensely on anything that has anything to say. And the first thing you hear is that familiar sound of weeping. The male, you don't see him, but you hear him at first. You start to hear what seems like footsteps, but footsteps in combat, shuffling around, moving. Strategic moves being done. Weapons being used. But soon after, you also hear sort of as per usual, confrontational female voice spark in your mind. Oh, you've really done it now, haven't you? Now you're back to check up on us?
What happened?
Things happened. Why? What were you doing exactly? Not sure if you noticed, but we can't really see outside of this. So if you decide to just kind of fuck off for a little bit, we just get to watch what happens.
I was just practicing. What happened to you?
Well, something came and killed one of us, I think. We're kind of weird. I don't really know what's going on here, but we're alive in some capacity, I guess. But one of us didn't make it.
Can you describe that one?
Describe that one? It was another dragonborn like us. He was a bit of an idiot. I don't think you've actually met him yet.
No.
Well, you won't now. He's dead.
Okay. I don't know how to. I'm astonished. So, to you, it seemed he just died, like he vanished, or do you think that he went elsewhere?
No, I saw something tear him limb from limb. It's hard to explain, but we're kind of like in compartments in here, if you can imagine that. Something broke down our door and killed one of us.
Okay. Thank you for telling me. This is awful. I do need to be more vigilant.
Yeah, well, you didn't care much about me in my living life, so why would you care about me in your head situation?
Well, I am a bit changed since that experience with the Soul Seeker dragon.
Clearly.
Clearly indeed. So, it's never too late to start caring, I don't think.
Well, why don't you start taking care of what's going on in here? So
You're
having
right.
your life out there, and we're still stuck in here.
That's fair. Not too. While this is a life, and while I am doing things outside of my mind, as you've put it, there's still a lot more going on out here too. Many more people I can also help. And yes, I think I need to start helping myself and you before I can help those others.
You always say you before us. It's getting kind of annoying. And your brother won't stop crying.
That is my brother then. Okay. Who else have you met in here?
I don't remember all their names.
You don't need to remember all their names. If you could give me descriptions or those whose names you do remember, that would be helpful.
So if I start listing people, you're going to what? Feel obligated to help because it's someone other than me?
No. It will help me try and figure out or navigate whatever is going on.
I don't think you quite grasp what you should be focusing on.
I don't. And the more information I have, the better picture I can form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So any information that you could have to give me, even if it's just a name, it's still a start in the right direction.
Don't have all the names. For the most part, as I mentioned, we're kind of sequestered in different rooms or sections. This is fucking bullshit mind thing that we're in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But there were 5 Dragonborn, down to 4 now. There's your elf king who's running around in all the rooms doing whatever he does. And then there's 2 other elves that I haven't met yet, but I've seen them.
2 other elves.
Yep.
Okay. And whose names do you have?
Your brother, Althik, the one who died, Verhal. The other two, oh, well, you know Thrask.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him, actually. Maybe he died, too.
Maybe he did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is very useful indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I will do my best. I apologize that I've been withdrawn and haven't given you the time that you need.
Yeah. I've seen your best. I think you need to do better.
I don't disagree. Any other information that you can offer would be greatly appreciated.
Mm.
I will try.
Not much. Can't wait to get killed by a demon the next time you decide to have some fun.
This is the next thing that we're going to solve.
Mm-hmm.
I will be back.
Wonderful.
Stay strong. Stay strong.
Yeah. Got it. So, like, as you're kind of having this conversation, you feel it sort of trauma contemplating. You do feel your mind kind of pulling away from this place. And it was partially intentional, as you were like, okay, this conversation is all I can have, and there doesn't seem to be much else I can do in here. But you were sort of limited in time. You didn't really realize it, but you pretty much decided to pull away right when your focus was about to break anyway. But you're sort of shunted back out, not really able to see anything still, of course, with whoever you were speaking with. There were just voices in your head at the moment. But outside of it, it is now still flaring. But after having that kind of conversation, you feel as though it is likely in reference to Kelren likely combating whatever is going on in there right now.
Okay.
But you come back to the room in which Treebender, Valen, Irene, and Kimane are all staring at you.
Before I interact with them, Foos, Vugly has a question. When that person, I don't know her name yet, the confronting person, she said, what?
You do know her name.
Do I? Fuck.
You do.
Where the fuck is her name? I'll look it up.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, the confronting person for now. So, she said Othic, Verhal, and Thrask, right?
Yep.
And I was a little confused about one part. Did she say that one of those names belonged to my brother?
One of them is your brother, yes.
Okay, one of those names. Because at least from like the notes that I have on Nirja's family and their names and things like that, none of those names belong to him.
What happens when a soul seeker dragon kills someone?
Okay.
They are forgotten entirely.
Wow. Okay.
So U-Haul is your brother?
No. Ulthok was your brother.
Oh, never mind.
Old Sock is her brother.
God damn it. Ulthok. I'll take spellings on Ulthok and Verhal before I spell them out.
Okay, cool beans.
Not Ulthok.
God damn it, guys.
The all caps really brings it. Ulthak. All right. Are you guessing too? No. All right. Oh, Quadrono's typing. Okay. Irene. Wallhack. Ulthok. All right. Flandy got one correct, and nobody else got anything else.
Oh shit!
Oh wait, there was a second one. Shit.
Yeah, Ulthok and Verhal.
Yeah,
No.
I got one.
You know, not you, Hall Nenners. Listen. Ulthok is your brother.
Okay.
Oh, Your spouse is summoning you to dinner.
I see this.
Yeah. Pardon me. Your dinner's done. I bad. We're gonna take a break. I promise. Okay. So actually, you know what? We'll fucking do it now. I was gonna kind of like wrap this up, but like you get those names. We'll say we'll come back to Nirja kind of waking up from this and everyone staring at her essentially. But we'll take a 15-ish minute break. It's 10:31, so we'll be back at let's say 10:45. I'll see you guys soon. So we'll take a break. Bye.
Bye.
us very soon. Oh,
Yeah.
God, it didn't even fade. Okay, there we go. And there
You
she
listening to the Skyrims.
I summoned her.
We were listening to what's it called before Oblivion.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I love
Far
that
away.
music.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've hunted many a nerd route to the song.
Yeah.
It was good. Do I need to have it capitalized? I don't remember. There it is. Cool. We're getting commands. We're looking official and some shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna close the poll, and I'm unfortunately losing. But there you go. You can no longer vote in this poll.
After the last 10 minutes of this session, yeah, you're losing Foos.
Yep.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Hella bias.
Listen, it's just gonna change every day. What session are we having today? Legacy, darkest one. Difficult terrain, darkest one. Anyway, shenanigans aside. We're picking back up. We'll come back to the Nirja, Irene, Valen team in a moment. I'm just gonna hop over to Ryland. Actually, no, you're eating, right? I'm gonna let you keep eating. Just kidding. Have your dinner. Enjoy. I'm gonna stay with this team. You enjoy. I'll be back soon. But Nirja, you are kind of coming back to your team's kind of staring at you, or your teammates kind of staring at you.
Okay, so she is going to say, well, one of the souls that was trapped in my head is dead, and Kelren is fighting, and I don't think I can put off any longer getting rid of the other demons. I think we need to rest and go to the kings in the, I don't know, in the morning, maybe.
Fair enough. Just let the rest of the team know, and we'll prepare.
Yes. I will stay here in this room or wherever you will be, just to make sure that nothing else happens. And for that reason, and also I think Benno destroyed my room, so it's probably best that I just stay here.
Irene's gonna be like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get you some pillows and blankets and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. I'll go with you. That's fine. All right. Yeah.
After the talk, the women leave the room. Kevin just stares at you. So, what happened?
Where do I start? She has. She was the victim of an attack, and she has souls kind of embedded in her mind, along with a healthy amount of demons. I'll be honest, I don't fully understand what's going on. But,
Unhealthy.
Yeah, it's you might have to go in there and fight said demons.
Okay. Cool. I mean, yeah, I can fight someone. I can do that for you.
Also, I just got you that armor. What are you doing taking it off?
I asked her if she wanted it on her. Look, I get it. We fucked up. But I can't. If the lady's taking off her armor, I can't punch her with armor on. That just looks bad.
Sure. Okay. Well, I get it. Just.
I get it.
All right.
Are you gonna relax?
No.
No. What are you gonna do?
I have to study.
Know how to.
Yep. What do you study?
And he pulls out the scrolls that he has of. He bought. I have it written down here. It's minor illusion or major illusion. It wasn't seeming. It was so long. Too many notes because of all the stuff we were doing over there. Hold on.
So much information.
How did I add it to my sheet? Siren Sage. Omar Chai.
Omar Chai. It's not Omar Chai.
It is major image, mirror image, and greater invis are the three he's and he's adding to his book.
Okay. Do you want? I probably can't. Can I help with anything? How about that?
No, if you want to help, just relax and get ready for probably another combat-filled day tomorrow. I was planning on blackmailing somebody, but if Nerja needs to get those things out of her head, then that'll have to wait. Which means I'm going to carry a body in my bag for a few more days. But
all right. I mean, can you do both?
The last time we did that, it was bad.
Okay. I mean, but wasn't it bad because like you were doing things at the same time? Like I had to hang out with your, what's his name, Ryland, for a while, and you were doing something else.
No, it was bad because we got into her mindscape and she was being chewed on by a rather large demon, like right off the bat. And we were all out of position. Like it's not something you can go in there prepared. Like you just kind of land and do the best that you can. It's horrible.
She looks good for being chewed on.
He just kind of chuckles. Yeah, healing magic does a lot.
I mean,
yeah.
Sure. I haven't been chewed on by a demon though.
Yeah, it was bad. Ryland was KO'd. I had to wake him up. I had to pick him up as an eagle. It was not a good scene. I'll be honest. They try to attack us with like trauma from our childhood or wherever is in your background. It was not good. I'll be honest with you. I'm not looking forward to it. But I understand it needs to be done. So that's what's gonna happen.
Okay. Sure. So I'll rest and prepare for chewy demons, I guess.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
All right. I'm just gonna use the. He points over to the bed that we dragged in the other night. I'll stay here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some room. This is gonna. I like how my study is turning into a dorm room.
This is supposed to be my place. We're hanging out all the time.
It started off with no beds. Now it's gonna have two. So
then end in the bedroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, grab a drink, relax. I don't know if you do katas or practices at night. Feel free to.
I sometimes I used to before. But I'm a little sore. I think maybe a little bit of rest is good. I'll do that also because I feel like if I do anything, you're gonna yell at me. So I'll just rest, and everything will be fine, right?
What do you mean by anything? What else did you plan on doing?
Oh, I don't know. I would wander around, see what the rest of this place looks like, and
you can wander the house. That's fine. Just please don't leave it.
Oh no, I mean I don't think I was gonna leave it, but what if I go poking my head in something you don't want me to do or something or whatever? I don't know. You just seem worried, and I'm just gonna.
I'm a little stressed right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, but is the frozen orb here, or do we leave it in the room?
I'm pretty sure you swapped it, right? Didn't you leave it there?
I think I left it there. Yeah. So I need to go get. Hey, come with me, and he's just gonna
Sure.
The first kind of like tablecloth type thing he could find on the way. He's gonna grab.
You see him
Actually, Irene is returning with a bunch of blankets and sheets and shit. So
no, he doesn't want to use any of those. He's just grabbing, yeah. But
it's so cute because it's almost like the women are coming in and like preparing for a sleepover.
Sleepover, yes. I was thinking that.
I'm gonna make you a pillow fort.
Adorable, yeah. But yeah, he watches you do that, looks confused, and is like, "All right, yeah, no, I got you. Let's go. Do you want me to carry that? Anyway, that's fine. Don't worry about it."
But yeah, he'll go over there, grab take the orb, put it in the cloth, and kind of either just hold it out or definitely hold it because he puts it against his back, it's gonna freeze through his back. But he's just gonna kind of
hold it.
Hold it.
I think he it's electronated.
What?
That bullet.
So we're gonna need this. Actually, somebody want to look up. So we're gonna just bring this back. Do you have anyone you want to look into? Anyone close to you? Any enemies that we should keep an eye on?
That?
I could do it magically too, just not now. Thanks to my paladin friend.
I kind of want to know what Foster Kell's up to.
Foster Kell. Spell that again, Frizzy.
Fostra. Hold on. Okay, did I spell that wrong? No, I didn't. Okay. There you go.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Foster Kell. Foster Kell.
I can't do it. You would have to do it though.
Okay.
I'll have to teach you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't. Sure.
Also, we're gonna have a little bit of an experiment.
Cool. What kind?
Magical one.
Cool. What kind?
Ninja did say I should tell you guys about my plans. So, if one of the bowls charges these things, what if you put the other one over it, like upside down?
So it like double charges?
Maybe.
Oh. Is that how it works?
No idea.
Oh, okay. Are we gonna find out?
Not now, but I'm gonna just do some theory on it later, and because if it does explode and Nurse is in the room, she's gonna be really mad at me. So we're gonna, and that kind of it kind of goes against what I was preaching, but I'm gonna at least do some like dry runs, mathematically, and see if that makes sense.
Are you guys just like mad at each other all the time?
No, we have our quirks. I think she wants to train like Irene. She's very free spirited. I don't think she could stop herself if she wanted to half the time. I understand that. I need to tinker and experiment, and that has consequences too. So we just have to mitigate these drives.
Okay. Sure.
You seem extremely bored. Is there something I can do to help? Like,
no. I'm used to doing things, and lately I haven't been doing anything. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can do. You know what I mean?
Can you cook?
No.
You can wrestle an owlbear.
I mean, we don't really cook. I mean, we kind of do, but like people are experts on that specifically, and all they do is cook. All I did was kill.
Yeah, I do. As he's coming in, he'll say like Irene popped that one in. You can wrestle with Treebender.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm still helpful because you saved me. In case you forgot, I'm here because of you. So, if there's anything I can do for you, you let me know.
I will. Thank you. Enjoy yourself while you can.
Hey, Valen.
Yes.
Before you lecture me about whatever you're going to lecture me about, I assume a Phoenix or a song or something. She's just going to be like, that's the scrying orb, right?
It is.
When's the last time you checked on that girl?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Maybe it's time.
I'm going to be honest, Irene. I don't know. There's a finite amount of stuff we can do in a day.
Okay.
If we see something we don't like, I don't know.
We can check first thing in the morning then, after we've all rested.
Yeah. There's a little bit of guilt in Valen's face. It's just like he's been kind of avoiding it mentally. But
actually, you know what? I know this is stressful for you. Would I be able to use that orb?
Assuming it's still charged? Sure.
Whoa.
Wait, no. You shouldn't watch that.
I shouldn't.
Your friend.
Oh.
Right? If there's something bad going on.
All right. Okay, so
we suck.
You think, even though it might ruin our night, if we check on her and we find that there's something terrible going on, we can prepare ourselves for whatever it is we might have to face on her behalf. As in, with our magic, strategically memorize what we need to. Instead of going blind.
We have to help Nurse tomorrow, though.
True.
And that fight last time was bad, and that was one.
Speaking of which, we have a strategy for this?
Mental protection spells and vanishing.
Demon killing spells.
There's not a lot of those specifically, unfortunately. It kind of depends on the demon. No, we can't banish because that doesn't work for some reason. So vanish is out.
I can switch around one of the spells I know. That's
Irene.
Yeah.
Pure theory.
Mhm.
But you guys are one entity now, right?
Essentially.
What if you could become two?
I've thought about that numerous times.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say two in the sense of we have another ally.
Yes, like if you go into the mindscape, you bring her consciousness along with yours as separate entities. I don't know how this works, but having a phoenix on our side wouldn't hurt. Well, maybe it would if it got too close, but you know.
Irene, didn't you say to us that because of your encounter with the white eyes, was it changed the dynamic between you and
It did, but it won't hurt to ask. And she's going to like tap in and just be like, "Did you get that?
I did.
You think it's possible?
Yes.
So you could accompany us as your purest self while in this mindscape?
In you.
So it would still be, even in this mindscape, one being.
Yes.
What would change there for us?
I'm not sure. Never been inside the mind of a dragonborn.
Well, you must have some guesses.
Maybe we'll be stronger. Maybe we'll be weaker. I don't know. But if there are demons in there, we should be there too.
oh god.
Not surprised that you say that, but you're not wrong. She taps out and is just like, inconclusive, and it's likely that we'll still be unified in one.
Well, that's fine. Again, we're just trying to look for advantages wherever we can. I didn't expect it to be. Hey, off the top of your head, if I was to take 2 charging sources on an orb, do you think it'd explode?
What?
Do you have anything to? She's a she studied enough magic at this point. I feel like, even though she's not academic, she's been like looking into it so hard with the like necromancy and everything, and tapping into the phoenix shit that she's just like starting to get like a borderline scholarly understanding of it, and it's like surprising to her that her brain is thinking this way now. She's just like, well, do you have anything to keep the current running neatly in between the two halves? Because I imagine you get the explosion if something's, for example, were to break the coil. I sound so weird. I've been around you too long.
Not long enough, I'd argue. Okay, no, I like where you're going with that. Make some kind of apparatus that can. Yeah. I like it.
I give you a good idea. You say that, and you judged my teleportation circle earlier.
You didn't say shit though.
I don't understand why you're treating me like you're Lester right now.
I don't recall yelling at you about the circle, but yeah, no, you're doing great. We see eye to eye on most things.
So wait, what kind of apparatus are you thinking?
Let me get these spells in my book, and then I can spend some time drawing up some plans. And you need a rest.
Yeah, you don't. So, what's he doing other than standing by you constantly?
Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
He's currently like in bed, sitting like with like crisscross applesauce, as Ryland always likes to say. But he's just kind of sitting at the moment and with his eyes closed, seems to be kind of just meditating or focusing at the moment.
Maybe we should get him some books.
Yeah. Some language books, perhaps?
Like a common for fighters or something.
I don't know if I resent that or not.
We'll look into that.
Common for the dum-dums.
Honestly, it's given everything that's gone by, it's nice to have somebody I can trust who's always by me. So I appreciate him.
Okay. Yeah, so just let me know when you're ready to work on that apparatus.
Will do.
Sure, together we can cook up something. This feels weird. Am I becoming a student? Am I going to start experimenting? Is this guy?
I think what you're trying to say is you're learning how to use magic properly.
Or just in a different way.
Superiority complex.
Oh my god.
He just gives her a hug.
You're trying to turn me into a wizard. I get it. I see through you. You want me to become more academic in my approach to magic.
I only worry about your control over things. That's all. And honestly, it's not even your spellcasting ability. You're exceptional at that. It's anyway. We can discuss this later. You go to sleep. I'm gonna study. Are you settled here? Do we need to move into bed here?
So she's just on the floor, kind of. I'm fine.
I'm pretty sure I brought all those pillows and blankets in here and set them neatly so that you could take advantage of them and not park your ass on the floor.
Jesus.
I already have one person in my head with the attitude like that. I don't need another one.
Park your ass on the floor.
I wish you said
I think we just want you comfortable. You're not in a barracks.
Yes. All right. And then she just starts arranging the pillows in like a line and then just kind of rolls on top of it and just like throws the blanket over her. Like, is that better?
Yeah, he'll just.
You're staring at her. What the hell is wrong with you? You know what?
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine.
Nice.
Right.
You got a pile of pillows.
There. Yes.
Irene, tomorrow we're gonna need to fix your room, among other things. But her room.
That would be nice.
Actually, I never did get a good look at it. What's the? She's gonna try to survey the carnage of her ex room. Where is it again? It was up here, right?
Yeah, I think it was the top one. As you're looking in, you opened the door and you could already see that the door was kind of like blown off its hinges. Like it was probably closed, and like knowing that Treebender was one of them, the rest of the owlbears probably didn't realize that this thing opens, but Treebender knew it did. So likely with their combined intelligence, they figured out the only way to open it was with sheer force and weight. So like from what you can tell, it looks like they ran through the door and the door had no chance. It just kind of like splintered and broke open. But
owlbear outline, just
right, like, just an owlbear outline.
Kool-Aid man.
Exactly, and like the floor is kind of scratched up just because of getting traction and such, and you can see the bed is kind of just bowed and broken in the middle. Where from what you can gather, also just because of like scratches on the walls, and even like I'm pretty sure there's one on the ceiling. There probably was an owlbear dog pile on this bed, and the bed lost. So like, there's just various scratch marks and everything else around that area, but it looks like they barreled into this room, broke the bed, probably tussled a little bit in here, and then fucked off right after.
Irene is going to like step back over to Valen and be like, "Hey, they had a lot of fun in there, so."
They had a lot of fun in there.
Yeah, I imagine it's gonna take us a couple hours of mending and prestidigitating. Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
I'm just glad you're here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, glad you're here too. Because I don't think either of us wants this alone.
All right.
Good night.
You too. Good night, Irene.
That's amazing. All right, so she heads off. Nirja, what are you doing, girl? You meditating? You just chilling?
Yeah, she's just lying on the floor trying to relax and trying not to beat herself up and reminding herself that, might as well, just think about trying to fix it instead of, dwelling upon the negative thoughts and feelings and things like that. So
as Irene leaves, Treebender starts forcing his way into the door. Like, you're about to close the door behind you, and you see his head poke in, and then the rest of his body trying to, like, squeeze this way.
You know what? Yep. Come on in. You don't need to. Oh, I see what you could do. So, wait, was it you that led the charge, or was it?
Like, unfortunately, the two of you, like, obviously can't communicate perfectly. So,
Right.
like, as you're saying that, he's starting to do, like, the doggy circle, like, about to get ready. So you're like, did you do it or what? He's like, yeah, this seems nice. All right, we're just gonna...
Like, you know what? It's all right. Let's just...
I'm just gonna give him a quick dex check just to see, like, how the door entry situation works out.
He's an agile boy. Ooh.
So more mending then. Yeah?
Like that.
So, Irene, both women's doors don't seem to work right now. And while
He's
one
saying all these words and just hears the crunch of the door. Like, yep.
And like as he starts scratching at the ground and like making, like doing the doggy circle to like settle on the floor, you see like the one of the hinges completely busted, so like the top half is just leaning inwards, and like right as he settles, you see it go ee, and then just break off the bottom hinge and just like lay flat on the ground. Meanwhile, he doesn't even look in that direction. He's just like
She's over here trying to catch the door, and he's just like chilling. He's gonna lay the door down and be like, I still love you.
Also, I will say, like, Irene, just from watching him, you could tell an attempt was made. It's just like it just didn't work out. Like, he wasn't trying to bust it down, but it was a little too tight for him, and he just fucking did not really take too much care in coming inside.
If we get liquid again, we're gonna have to call somebody in. And
I'm sorry. Did you say that again?
In this place, or maybe just not have doors. I feel like maybe we need doors anymore. Doors are overrated. What are we trying to hide? We travel together all the time. It doesn't, right, Treebender?
Just
Exactly.
You're right, Treebender, in here. But we'll leave the two of you to that. And now,
with that.
there's 5 bedrooms. 2 of them don't have doors. So just like keeping track of what's going on. And I will say, like, Nirja, Kimane, and Valen, it's right across the hall. You heard the door lose that fight. Not that you have to react to it, but just knowing, like, you guys, if you walk out, you're not going to be like, how'd that get there? You're like, oh, that's what I heard. Okay. Got it. Good.
Yep.
But yeah, so all that is going on. I'm going to switch over to Ryland now that Flandy's done eating.
I'm so sorry, Foos. Can I ask one more question?
I'm going to come back to you, so
Okay.
Do you want me to do it now, or we can do it
Well, I completely forgot, and I've been trying to keep up in my notes when Nirja is smoking her pipe, but I can't find the last time I did it.
We can come back to it.
Okay.
So we'll go back to that.
Thank you.
When the night is wrapping up, I'll make sure I address it. But I did assume that was something you want to talk about. So don't worry. We are heading over to Rylando, who's in his plant room, and I still haven't plantified this room, but I will eventually.
One day.
Scooch on over. Hold on, a little bit. There we go. Okay. So you are reaching out to the universe, trying to get answers.
I imagine at first it's very chaotic and he just can't control his thoughts and he's like, I gotta get answers for this, I gotta get. And I think initially, like, it's just kind of all over the place, and then he's just gonna kind of catch himself at some point and realize, like, I need to focus. I don't know which one I need to focus on because they're both important. And I think, honestly, he's going to try and mirror. He's probably not going to have the same effect, but he's going to try and reach out in a similar method to the tree that he just reached out through and connected and all that whatnot. But knowing that it's a desert, maybe more focus on something like the wind.
I'm sorry, real quick. Is Dubs okay in that position?
Yeah, he's fine. His head's going back. So
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was a little worried for a second there. Please continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, actually, if you ever watch the recording, I had to mute myself and be like, "Put your head back," because for a second he was doing this. I was like, "Go back, please." Just as long as he's not forward or like, then we're good to go. But he's all set. Both he and his son are passed out. His son is in his lap. So he's out. But yes, you are reaching out essentially. This time, trying to focus on whatever you can. This time being the wind.
If he needs to, he'll open the window too. I don't know if the window's actually there or not, but
Yeah. Well, you have those kind of like doorway, kind of like balcony-ish windows, but yes, you can.
that would definitely be open in that sense then.
Okay. I need you to roll me an insight. That's
No.
Disadvantage.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, buddy. Let's go.
Moves.
Let's go.
Oh shit.
Not bad rolls for fucking disadvantage. You try and center yourself. Find something to focus on. Find something to give you not even answers, but even just feedback out here, right? Like, you know about the connection in your homeland, and there are others, you know, like the druids communicate all the time through nature and things that are around them. So you're attempting to do that as well. And it is exactly as you described, where Ryland is kind of like, it's hard to just even get your mind right. And you're starting to realize that back at home, the reason it's possible is there does seem to be a focus. And that focus seems to be that place that Wangu has sort of cultivated, making sure that it is protected with wards, but also enhanced with wards, making it possible for anybody almost to connect. And here on your own, it's hard. It's really hard and it's really confusing. There are times where you feel like you're picking up on something and it's so faint, because much like with the network that you felt back at your homeland, you feel like your consciousness is kind of like drifting away into something else, trying to connect with something else. But it's so fleeting and so quick that it almost feels like you're hallucinating. Like, did I do that? Or was I just like imagining I did that because I felt it recently? It's a little overwhelming. But you're not catching anything solid. And it's probably a little frustrating for Ryland. But as you're kind of going through this, by the time you sort of open up your eyes, Rusi is sitting next to you with her tail wagging and just kind of watching you. Like, did it work?
Not quite. I have a few ideas, but I don't know if we can do it here.
Like what?
That plant room for one.
Okay.
That might
like-
help. Maybe something in the desert.
Well, that'd be
Maybe.
cool.
And he's gonna kind of perk his head up and he's the oasis.
Oh. I like the oasis. We get to swim.
He's gonna look at his not actual watch.
His sundial. Yeah.
What time is it? I know we've been gone for about 4 hours. Probably took us, a good amount of time to make it back and everything.
It's approaching evening. It's actually probably is like early evening. Probably like 5:36 p.m. ish.
And do I recall like how busy it was the last time? I know we went there like twice. I can't remember.
Oasis.
Yeah.
Right. During the day, it's usually really, really busy. Later on, not as much. At night is when it's calmest for sure.
He's gonna let a deep sigh and be like, oh, "Man, it's not gonna like this." And he's pretty much just gonna kind of still work on that connection. He's gonna be cautious. I feel like the first time he forgot about it / wasn't focused on it, but remember the warning of getting lost. And he's just gonna keep trying to reach out, even if it's ever so slightly. But he's gonna focus on that. Maybe like cuddle up with Rusi, like propping her up type thing, or propping him up type thing.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna do that until he like falls asleep, which I'm sure won't be too long. But he's just working on creating that connection and pretty much focusing on anything that he feels like might be it, like giving a warm greeting and like trying to like introduce himself, like, "Hi, I'm Ryland. I'm looking for some stuff."
Gotcha. All right.
Do you want to be my friend?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Ryland. I'm going to give you a chance to meet me. Hello. That is totally cool. I need one more insight from you.
No.
Please and thank you.
That's 4 rolls.
I don't forget. We have one. I'll say it's group party inspiration because Dub's out. But we still have inspirations, and we're closing in on the end of that. Yeah.
I don't mind rolling for that. Where's my D20? Hopefully it's a good one. Yay!
Ooh, that is a good one.
Dirty 20, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Riley.
Oh, that was really cute. Okay, so with your 20 insight, you start drifting because, as you mentioned, you are exhausted. Like it's been fucking rough. And a part of you is like, man, these next 2 days are probably going to be rough too, man. Just, I need to rest. I need to be able to focus. But at the same time, I want to explore this a little bit more and see what I can feel, essentially. I'm going to say that you drift off as this is happening, but as everybody else is kind of dozing off or like closing the night, I will be coming back to you. So, but before I go, roll me a D100, please.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right. It's better than my last few.
It is. It absolutely is. All right. So going to just making sure I know Codrono is out for the night, essentially. I'm sure he's doing his workouts or whatever, but he's going to bed. Irene, other than Treebender destroying your door, you're just going to bed, or is there anything you're going to do before you turn in?
She was originally going to tap into her nethermancy. However, given the amount of drama they faced today, and what Treebender just went through, she's gonna hold back on that, because she's worried like if she taps into that, and it kind of leeches off of her like her Phoenix stuff does, and he'll be affected. And she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna sleep. I can figure out crazy stuff tomorrow.
Okay, sure. All right, so you're dozing off. Treebender kind of does his best to stay as close to the bed as possible, and he's so.
Oh, she's gonna doze off with him. It's
on the ground. Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna move some pillows to the floor so she doesn't have like geriatric body tomorrow. But
sounds good. But with your friendly owlbear companion wrapped around you, you doze off into a much-needed long rest. Which brings us back to kind of the Valen study room, where Kimane seems to be kind of like focusing and meditating a little bit before he goes to bed, but you see him kind of starting to take off his armor once he feels he's ready. Valen, I know you have many things you want to look through or do, so if you want, you can let me know what like your agenda is for the night, as you do not need to sleep, and you can work through the night for your long rest.
He will try one thing, however.
Okay.
After setting up the orb, just ever since the beginning of this day, which for us is like 4 weeks ago, but for good old Valen was all of like 10 hours ago. He just can't get an image out of his mind, so he's gonna go to the scrying orb, hold on to it for a moment, and think of a very specific knoll that he hasn't seen in 20 some odd years, and just try to see if you can find him.
All right, so you're scrying, excuse me, did you have a room, or are you using the scrying orb here?
I'm using the scrying orb here.
Okay, gotcha. You have it. Okay,
the bowl.
Just making sure. Right, gotcha. Yeah,
bowl.
You got it. But you are scrying on the knoll.
Foozca, why are you charming yourself?
I don't know. Chat was too quiet, so I was like, I'm gonna put trauma right now because I'm bored. Not trying to, foreshadow nothing for real. For realsies.
Deception check.
Okay. A very specific knoll. Hold on 1 second.
Hold this hell.
I gotta go through my shit. What is it? Old as hell. How old is Valen? Old as hell. Dennis, would you say Valen is old as hell?
He's crotchety. No,
He's not.
he's middle age. So yeah, he's not. I wouldn't say old as hell, but
That's
Also,
old.
if I remember correctly, the scrying orb has a DC of 15, right? Because it's not your DC, right? Did I
that's a good
show
point.
Did
that?
you give us that? I think you
I
did.
fucking hope I did. If I didn't,
I think you did. I think we just tripping. Hold up.
okay.
I don't see one.
Cool. All right. I probably didn't then. I'll double check. I might have had it in my notes and not like.
I remember seeing that it was different. Like you set up, you showed us the rules, and so
Yeah.
do I.
It's okay.
But
Don't
the
worry. I'll find it again. Maybe it was something I like accidentally shared and then didn't share. Whatever. But I do know that I'm pretty sure the DC is 15. So we'll
100.
15.
100.
And you actually have the spell scrying. So would you mind just posting it just so I can reference it?
oh sure.
I'm not gonna fuck up your shit.
Waiting for it to load. D20s is geriatric.
Both Valence and D20 geriatric.
There you go.
Okay. So you obviously have first-hand knowledge. Yeah, your DC is 19. Oh yes. Also, don't forget your strength is up because you're near Kimane. So I know that you guys separated and whatever. So make sure you have that back up to what it is. What it is when you're around your boy. Okay. Let me check. Wisdom. All right.
I feel like your books are lighter.
Mm-hmm. You've scryed with Yoriana before, and typically she shows up in a flame. It kind of takes you deeper into that for the vision. But this one has always been different. It's kind of been almost like a crystal ball situation where as you're staring at this orb, the clouds and fog within it start to move around almost like a storm. And sooner or later, you start to see kind of a clearer picture. But as that picture starts to solidify, you usually kind of feel your subconsciousness like pulled into that vision as if you're actually there, even though you're still standing there holding the orb. So you sit and focus on this. And it's a body, it's a figure you haven't seen in a long time. You very recently saw some hyenas, and that sort of sparked a bit of that memory in you. But this was sort of different, especially given your background. But a part of you is also aware that gnolls tend to not live very long, not only because of their natural lifespan, but however, they also are a very violent race. As terrible as it is, their culture is that of death and war and killing, pillaging, everything. So a part of you is expecting this not to land simply because it's been some time. It's probably dead. But it starts focusing on a scene, and you start feeling yourself kind of pulled into that scene. And first thing you notice is kind of what seems to be like the blurry edges of grass on the outside of the scrying vision. And it's night here. And it's night here because time zones. As it is nowhere near this desert where it is nearly night. It is instead where the sun has already set. And instead, it seems to be moving quickly through grass. And it doesn't seem to be alone. You can kind of make out other figures beside it as it's moving. But you see it stop for a second and kind of bark out what seems to be commands, but it's not in a language. It's simply in that barking communication that gnolls have, much like dogs. And from what you can tell, they seem to be kind of preparing for a hunt, preparing for likely some kind of ambush. In the grass, maybe near a trail. You're not quite sure exactly where they're going, but you can tell that they're nowhere near this desert area that you are in. But as they're communicating with each other, they seem less animalistic than you remember. There's an intelligence there that you don't quite recall seeing before. And it's only when one of them is right directly next to this knoll that you are seeing and spying on that you're able to kind of make out their eyes. And they seem to be fully white.
Ah, shit.
And the particular knoll that you're watching, the scrying orb seems to kind of be like behind it. And as it is night, it's a little bit harder to see the eyes and everything else. However, this other knoll that it is speaking with is standing directly in moonlight and seems to have those full white eyes. And they communicate through barks, but also silently. There's something else that's being transmitted between them. And they kind of continue with their hunt, seemingly gathering their weapons and moving on. And their weapons also seem different. They're not the primitive weapons that a knoll usually kind of slaps together or steals off the bodies of those that they have pillaged, unfortunately. But perhaps crafted by different people. However, they all seem kind of uniform in some way. You can give me a history check if you'd like to try and identify perhaps what is influencing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Let's go. Yeah. A 29 history check. You actually would have advantage on this. I don't know if you did because of something else, but like you.
Yeah, I rolled by accident, but yeah.
No, like it works out because you would have advantage on this because there's something that is slightly familiar about it. You grew up next to a pretty popular, very, very large city. And the guards there all had a very specific lineup of weapons. And these seem kind of similar to that. It also reminds you of when you first found the glass man and the guard armor he was wearing.
What the hell is going on? Okay. So I might have to torture Budai before I kill him. Get some information out of him. Okay. Yeah, Valen is taking all this in wide-eyed. Obviously, 100% expecting just to zoom in on a corpse and just call it a day. All right. Do they look stronger or like? Well, yeah. Do they look like physically? Like, do they look like 20 years has gone by on this guy, or is he just like?
Okay, right. Have they aged?
Yeah.
Essentially, they do seem as though they've aged, but not as much as you were expecting. Rather than 20 some odd years, instead it feels or looks more like probably just shy of a decade, maybe 7 to 9 years, somewhere in between there.
Got it. Can I recognize the area that they're in?
Ooh, you don't have dark vision naturally, right?
No.
Right. Can you give me perception at disadvantage?
Oh, perception. I'm great at perception.
You're so good.
I'm sorry. I'm great on all my characters.
Roll like a slime monster, man. You got this.
All right, here we go. That's 9.
It's not a 9, then it's a strong 9. Don't forget.
It's bold. That means it's strong.
Exactly. It's really hard to make out. Part of it is because a lot of that area is just covered in forest land, and unless you're kind of on a trail, most people weren't taking the orphan kids off into the wilds. Like,
yeah, right.
Of course. So,
you can see.
Unfortunately, it's too difficult to make out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he's seen what he needed to see at that point, I guess, and just adds another to the list. Starts trying to he'll put it away for now. He'll focus on getting the scrolls back into his spellbook, but that's another piece of this puzzle he didn't expect to have.
Mm-hmm.
Then stop making our list long.
I didn't expect it.
Look, it was simple before, okay? Kill Budai, res Budai, kill Budai. Now we gotta kill Budai, res Budai, torture Budai, kill Budai. That's extra steps. Why are you making this so hard for?
I'm not trying to, I promise you.
Oh God. All right. So, volume 99.
Yeah.
We're trying to kill this man. Days. All right. So you take this moment to scry for 10 minutes, essentially. He's sort of focusing over there. Nirja.
Yes.
I know we wanted to talk about your your pipe smoking. Was there
Yeah.
anything else you wanted to do before that?
No.
Okay, cool. You did smoke within the last 24 hours, actually a little earlier than that, because you guys passed the fuck out for the night and then kind of like woke up in the like late morning, and then you had whatever day this was, and then now you're going back to sleep. So you technically smoked like in the early hours of this day, so probably around like 2 or 3 a.m. And at the moment it's like 5, 6 p.m. ish. So you can, of course, you can do it before you go to bed. That's fine, but you can also wait like the 24 hours if you want to do it like or whatever, like when you wake up instead, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I thought. Okay. Writing that down again.
Yeah, that's all good. Don't worry, it's all good. Okay, but was that it before you go to bed? Just making sure. Okay. Cool. All right. So I believe that covers everybody for what they're doing for the night. And then Valen, you are going over some shit.
Yep, getting mirror image, minor image, greater invis in the book.
Okay, gotcha. And for you, what, they take like an hour each or something, so you still have a good portion of your night to yourself if you want to do anything else. But
after those spells, I think he's gonna try to just figure out this triangle, like what is going on. You know, he was gonna work on the crazy apparatus to supercharge stuff. But with this revelation, I kind of blew it out of his head. And he'll also briefly remember that he has an investigator coming over tomorrow morning to interrogate a corpse. So we have to deal with that tomorrow, too. But so he's like, damn, I forgot about that. But he will sit down and just kind of do the crazy person thing where you got like dots, like, okay. The queen of the Gith is here. Freaking Mr. Eyelashes is over here. He's done this, and that. He's been active clearly for at least a few decades. Here, probably, obviously longer, most likely.
Have any red yarn?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sure I could just give Treebender a pillow and I'll have plenty of yarn. Yeah, he'll just kind of attempt to map it out as best he can in his head, see if it makes any sense.
Yes. Okay. You can roll me an int check. As you take this over.
It's not an advantage again. I apologize. But
well,
it doesn't matter. I rolled well anyway.
Why did you take the disadvantage one?
I don't know. I think I was a disadvantage for the last roll. That's right. I left it there.
Oh, because of perception. Yeah. You're dark vision. Okay. I was like, that's unusual. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we'll take the 22 instead. But I will come back to you as you are writing scrolls for 3 some odd hours. However, we'll just kind of pop on over to Rylando, who took a moment to kind of focus on something that he's never really tried before. But with his 20 insight, what's the matter? Why are you making that face?
What demon did you contact by accident?
Plenty's nervous. Plenty's nervous. Who's evil? So Plenty's very nervous.
Who's not evil?
Contact. We're just taking a nap. Our paladin's out there consorting with demons. Weird. Fuck.
You want to be my friend?
Hey, buddy. What's up?
My name is Ryland, and I'm trying to meet friends in the ether. I live at P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Oh my god. You focus as you fall asleep, essentially. But sleep hits you first. You were trying to reach out before. You were focusing on the wind. You were trying to kind of find an anchor. A magical anchor, a natural anchor. The oasis. That's a good guess. Let's give that a shot. I'm not near it, but who knows? Maybe something will work out. But you start to focus on that. And it's still a hard connection to make. However, you remember hearing plenty of the locals talk about how everything in this city is pretty much either powered by or sourced through oasis. Any plant that you see is through that. Any food that you eat has likely been grown with that water. That water has been a big part of your environment, and in a weird sense, it's part of you too. So you drift off and kind of have recollections of those interactions, everyone talking about the oasis and how perfect it is and how it never seems to go dry, no matter what. Even if it doesn't rain, the water stays the same. So, drifting off into that. The first dream that comes to you, you feel yourself kind of sitting on the banks of that water. It almost feels like a memory when everyone else was there at night. Rusu and Kambish were in the water, and unfortunately, Nirja had an episode, and you guys had to leave. You feel that same kind of joy of like being there and enjoying that experience, but none of your friends are around you, not even Rusu. That's kind of unusual. But you feel comforted anyway. It's dark, and the night moon is kind of reflecting off the water in front of you, and a soft breeze goes by, and you just feel at peace. And that dream ends pretty soon after that. You're there for about 5 or so minutes, but it cuts away from that. And immediately after that, the next dream picks up, and you are submerged in water. You can see the moonlight above you trickling through the water, but you are feet and feet and feet below the surface. But you're not struggling. And you're pretty sure you're not breathing either. It's just darkness and water, and you look down and you look back up, and it's hard to tell if you're moving. And the only sense of direction you have is you can feel your hair kind of trailing upwards. But you're pretty sure you're being pulled down. And that dream ends as you're getting further and further into the darkness. Still feeling comforted, strangely enough. And the next dream,
I feel like in that first dream he would have wanted to like just rest in the water. So like the second dream he'd kind of been like just that mild alarm for the shift and be like oh, it worked. And like that's kind of like his mindscape of what he's thinking. He's like, okay, I did it.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of weird, but okay. He's kind of going with it.
Strange, yeah. But as that dream ends, and it ends in darkness, just no more moonlight above you, no more sensation of movement. But you do feel as though you're suspended in almost those like sensory deprivation chambers, right? Where it's like you don't know what is up, you don't know where you are. There's no sound, there's no light. Your feet aren't touching anything, your hands aren't touching anything. You just are in this dark escape. Give me a perception check while you are here in your dream. It's not at disadvantage because this is technically dreamscape time and you're not exhausted in your dream. So a flat roll for disadvantage.
Perception.
For disadvantage for perception. A flat roll. No disadvantage. I'm sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Okay.
I knew what you meant.
I will also mention we still have a group inspiration. Dubs is unconscious. But if anyone wants to roll it as part of the group or whatever, feel free to do that in the next few, whatever.
Okay.
But you roll your perception, and you...
Wait, did you say something?
I said okay.
Yeah. There's Bogley. Hello, you girl. Thank you for being here.
I had so much coffee.
I know, sorry. As the darkness and the sensory deprivation seems to sink into you, the first thing you hear is what can only be described as a baby cooing. It sounds like an infant, far away from you. And at this moment, despite it being a dream, as Ryland, you feel the ability to kind of perhaps lucid dream in this moment. Is there anything you want to try to do?
Does the baby sound familiar? I know that's a stretch.
Yeah. No, unfortunately. There is something about its voice that seems to kind of echo, however. Like each kind of cooing noise trails off. Almost as though it's in a cave. But
he's gonna feel obligated to... not that he thinks it's in danger, but like he's gonna feel obligated to approach. So he's gonna sensory deprivation swim his way towards the cooing baby.
Got it. Okay.
Almost with like a little bit of sense of urgency too. Like he's like, I don't know if this is in nature. It's cooing. It's not crying. But maybe. Why is there a baby here?
Right. There's some kind of confusion and
I must protect.
Must protect. Right. Okay. So you start swimming in any direction you possibly can. Give me a dexterity check. as you're trying to kind of like right yourself and figure out where you're going. What's going on here?
Yep. Yep.
Group inspiration.
Interestingly enough, yeah, we do have a group inspiration if you
Let
want.
me do it. Can I do it, guys?
I don't want you to roll 2 inspirations because, like, I know you
Okay.
have one, like, you guys still have
I
another
will.
one. So anyone else, if you don't mind,
Let's do it.
I'll let you go. I just want to make
I
sure
understand.
we can possibly get someone else in. Anybody
You're
else
right.
want to roll this inspiration for flavor?
I've been rolling like shit all night, so please.
Maya.
What's going on? What about how do I?
Maya, papaya, roll a d20, girl.
Yeah, roll d20. Don't ask questions. Get in the car. We're going shopping.
Get in the car. I'm going shopping.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it's better. It's better.
I mean, you guys forgot I was in Low Rollers Club too.
I mean, look, anything helps though, for real. But you start trying to kind of like right yourself because the voice is echoing. It's hard to tell exactly what direction it's coming from. And at first you're like, am I upside down? Am I right side up? Where is this thing in even comparison to me? And you're just very, very disoriented. But you're trying to move, and the water feels thick, like viscous. It doesn't feel like thin, regular, runny water. It's almost like you have to kind of like fight your way through it. But even though you're fighting through it, there's a strange comfort about it all. You don't find yourself drowning. You don't find it oppressive. If you're under so much water to the point where it's black, the pressure alone should be destroying your body. And you're not feeling any of those effects. Instead, you're just kind of desperately reaching out for something.
Would he be able to insight if like that is the same feeling he's had before and realize that it was a trap? If that makes sense.
Oh my goodness. You can insight. This would still be flat because this is Dream Ryland.
Can I insight the water?
God damn it!
Good. It's natural 2. Okay. My brain was like, that's not what I saw, right? Is it 1 in front of that? No, it's a 7. Okay.
Nope.
Just making sure I saw that correctly.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. There's nothing that is recognizable in this dream. It is bizarre and bonkers and just strange. The cooing continues, however, even as you're kind of like struggling to get through this darkness, the sound. You're fighting for any sense that you can actually use, and that's hearing at the moment. But you find yourself struggling for a few minutes before the cooing stops. And instead, it seems to kind of make what you think is not a yelp, but like almost like a gasp. But in a child, it sounds a little different. But you hear that, and in this sort of sensory deprivation darkness, you feel yourself kind of being pulled in a direction. And it's only kind of after you've been pulled for a few moments that you realize it's away from the sound of that child. And in this dream, as you're kind of like whirling around, you're starting to see the world, the kind of environment around you change from that black to gray to a lighter gray to white. And as you turn to go look, you see 2 black slits that start to open into large eyes. And whereas they've usually looked with no emotion and just cold staring, sometimes inquisitive, you watch as they kind of morph into disdain as they stare at you. And at this moment, at your last dream that you have this night, you kind of startle awake. Time has passed. You're not entirely sure how much. But as you're starting to come to, Rusi is frantically licking your face. And as she's doing so, she's, what's wrong? What's wrong? What are you doing? What are you doing? What the heck was that? What were you doing? What's wrong with you? And you see her kind of like moving her paws around, and you start hearing water around her paws. What are you doing? What was that? What happened? Are you okay?
He's gonna investigate the water. What happened? You tell me what.
You
I was dreaming.
yourself in a shallow puddle of water that has just sort of surrounded your whole, like, probably in a good like 2-foot radius around you.
Where did this come from?
It didn't come from me. It came from you. I mean, it came from you. Didn't do it on purpose.
I don't know.
I was trying to
Conjure
wake you up, and you wouldn't wake up.
water.
Water.
How long has it been?
Oh, hours. Did you pee yourself?
I'm so tempted to write that in the chat.
I don't think I did. I think that's a. Hold on. And he's gonna try and focus on the last images that he saw with the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that confirmed the same eyes from before?
They look identical, yes. But I'm going to cut away from you as you're sort of waffling in this. But Ryland, you can mark off that you've had a full rest. Your exhaustion is gone. For everybody else, the night has kind of, I wouldn't say passed because you slept like at the beginning of night. It's still night when you wake up. But you guys pretty much.
I'm going to give him another night of exhaustion because of that.
Exhaustion.
Not again. Come on.
One more point. No. But you guys have all rested. At this time, it is about like 3 a.m. strangely enough, but like with your 8-hour rest, that kind of is where it brings you. But your 8 hours have passed. And with that information, I'm actually going to kind of stop us here while everyone is sort of had their long rest and Ryland wakes up from this dream. But we'll pick up here with sort of the aftermath of that and everybody else kind of getting their stuff together. So with that, do me a favor, guys, and whisper me your votes for the nights. So we'll give someone the inspiration. And yeah, we'll continue from here. Yeah. Oh. Sleepy boys are sleepy. Let's go. I thought that was him for a second. You took your stupid thing off. I almost read them out loud. What?
Don't read it in
You
that.
couldn't see him? Because that was, you couldn't look down. That's hilarious. The infinite eyelash McGee, Netters. It's not a viable vote. McGee.
I disagree. I think it's totally viable.
Nope, incorrect. Incorrect. What'd you say?
You said it was. You said the eyes were like disappointed or what? How did you describe that?
They were staring at you in disdain. Yeah, they were upset. They don't like you very much.
Didn't he say he was interested in me in the first place?
Something was, yes.
Yeah, so he's just mad that I found him. Fuck you, bitch. I know where you live now.
Maya, let's go. Please don't try and break my brain with stupid names.
Are we going on a scuba mission? Is that what you're saying?
You damn right we are. You better fucking prepare water breathing. Submarine machine.
Submarine machine.
I don't have water breathing.
I wasn't even going to do it, but then you said that, and I was like, well, I got to do it now.
Tweebinder. Yeah, that Tweebinder is like hard to even say. All right, so let me go back to my inspiration page.
Back to life. Back to reality.
All right. Congratulations, Ryland and Valen.
Oh shit.
You got no inspiration. So that is the end of this. Let me just make sure there's nothing else I have to announce. Flandy, isn't your schedule like bonkers or something? So we don't know what's going on.
Let's see. Hold on, let me pull up the calendar.
The calendar.
I should be good next weekend. It's the 13th that I probably won't be here for the 13th.
Okay. We definitely won't be here for the 20th. 20th is definitely off. because we're going to the beach. So we'll have that night off for sure, but we should be back next week, which is good to know. Thank you, Flandy.
Yeah.
And with that, I believe we're all set. We'll be
I
back
believe in a
tomorrow.
book out love.
Well, Nunners and I and Dubs will be back tomorrow for a special one shot that we'll be having called Sneaks on a Train. All rogues on a train. What could go
Who's
wrong?
hosting it?
I am.
So a 2-shot,
Listen.
3-shot.
Listen.
Got you.
I knew the way we came into that was just like it was too nice. So I was like, "There's no way this is gonna work out." All right, I'm gonna close this poll while it's.
You know what you did.
There you go, Nunners. And with that, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful night, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.